These niggas lightweight and we heavyweight. Roll me a blunt, sit back and meditate. Been on the time, but it's time to celebrate. I put that white cutie on my wrist, but just no Black Lives Matter. Black lives. She told me when she get hit from the back, she noticed her ass get fatter. Hit it. Came from the bottom, not talking the grass. I came from the dirt and the gravel. Dirt. Pull up, hop out with a stallion. Hop out. She got a chrome on saddle. Chrome. I made it in today. Thank God it's time to celebrate. Thank God. I'm talking that heavyweight. Can't fuck with niggas, they featherweight. She keep tryna play patty cake. I told her, look at my paddock face. Niggas don't get no handshake. Get hot shells fucking with the gang, okay?
Patty cake like it's third grade. I went and bulletproof the Escalade. Mask on me like a masquerade. I shoot him like a clip of fuck a fade. Me and Tate pop out like a date. Cause we go together anyway. I'm confused, sticking like glue. It's some dogs running on the loose. Nigga sweet, sugar shame. No, I won't tell another nigga name.
Who is buddy? What a name?
Huh? No, he not part of the game. Nah. My young niggas, I catch a stain. And no, he not leaving no stain. No. Quiver like Steph with the 3. Splash. Hunch like Dirk in the paint. Dirt.
You feel like dirt in the paint? Nah, I fill the cup up with drink. Drink. Put this shit down, I can't. Maybe one day, but today not today. No. We got pounds to break. Back end coming in all kind of ways. Yeah. I'ma take it up then throw it in the safe. Can't dismiss, can't get my cake. No. I put that white cutie on my wrist, but just no Black Lives Matter. Black lives. She told me when she get hit from the back, she noticed her ass get fatter. Hit it. Came from the bottom, not talking the grass. I came from the dirt and the gravel. Dirt. Pull up, hop out with a stallion. Hop out. She got a chrome on saddle. Chrome. I made it in today. Thank God it's time to celebrate. Thank God. I'm talking that heavyweight. Can't fuck with niggas, they featherweight. She keep tryna play patty cake. I told her, look at
This song is hard.
Yeah, I mean, that is Rocket Power. Quavo's new album just came out. It's a slam dunk. That
The
one
whole
right
album?
there for sure, and it's good to hear Takeoff. You know, rest in peace, of course. How you feeling, my guy?
Recording in progress.
Hey, yeah, that's important.
That's why I look like. Man, I feel. Let me go ahead and pause the splash cast. Looks like it's gonna be a 48.
We're at 44 right now.
Let me pause that. You ever had like a weekend that was one of those weekends that you get to Monday and Monday don't even feel like a weekend? I had a weekend of Mondays. Let's just say that. I had, let's see, started out with work truck flat tire. Needed tires for the personal SUV. Taking the other SUV to get engine work, which engine in work is never cheap. Broke my phone going to replace the tires.
So did you get the new, so what phone do you have now? Like,
I had the Galaxy S23 Super Ultra whatever.
Came up, baby.
Because I was 4 generations behind. Phone-wise.
We're only buying phones in the midst of crisis now. Let me tell y'all that. My phone decided to die at homecoming last year. Reggie's phone died of unfortunate circumstances this weekend. We're at the point where we don't want the new phone. We want a phone that works consistently.
Because if I ain't gonna lie to y'all, if I didn't need it, I wouldn't have got it. I'd have been on this Galaxy S19, 20 till it's over with.
I'm low key tight because my phone started working again afterwards.
Nah, mine's complete, brother. Mine had the black screen, the ink that looked like it's going all the way down the screen.
See, mine blacked out, but it was at homecoming. I'm like, bro, I can't. Literally everything, all of my boarding passes, Uber, everything was on the phone. You can't be without a phone, so you just go to Sprint and buy a new one, like right there. And then it started working like months and months later. So
I had to do it because I had to pay for the tires because I had to pay for the tires because I will move on to welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the pregame episode 117 of the Splash Cast. But I got to get this off my chest though, because I didn't have a damn weekend. I didn't even get to the Verizon store where I had to get the new phone where the girl started throwing up in the middle of the damn store. And the dad, we started out with a family of 6 fully clothed. They left out a family of 6, 3 clothed, 3 not. That just happened at the Verizon store. I don't know why. I got called all types of names. Got called all types of names at a tire store by We just call it Steady.
Nope.
We call him Steady.
Nope.
Steady. I'm not gonna go in that story. But got all of that. But I don't want to bore y'all, man. I'm not gonna bore y'all. So.
Oh, I am. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Me and Reggie, first of all, we will not be here next Monday. We will not be here on the upcoming Saturday. We have jumped through hoops, hurdles, and we will be out of the country. Spend time with your family. Do whatever you want to do. I know you guys will miss us for a week, but yeah, it's been an interesting, I would say, about 14 days.
Yeah. So, but with that being said,
Still I rise.
With Malcolm. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 117 of the Splashcast, the pregame. We talk about violence, comedy, and uplifting stories when we can, and baseball. We affectionately call this our splashes of the week. Let's start out. I decided because of the weekend, we're gonna start out with some violence. Let's just go there early and often.
Yeah, you picked this, and this is like child violence.
So there is a young woman. I'm sorry, not a young woman. A little girl. She looks like she's about 8 or 9.
A young woman.
She about
fight like that. You're a young woman.
She 8 or 9. Her father was into Brazilian jiu-jitsu and started her own Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Her name is I believe her name is Cameron. She goes by the moniker Killer Cam. Her father's name is Kurt. And he has a family photo of him, his children, and his wife in their Brazilian jiu-jitsu attire, all with multicolored belts.
Cam, come on, man. Get out of there, Cam. You know
so, So
that alarm was zoom, 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 zoom.
So we start out with violence, and we're gonna keep going with violence after this. But I felt like we need to highlight Killer Cam if the video plays. So that's Killer Cam. There it is. She's in the yellow. And she's black. Of course, we're highlighting because she's black. I just want to make sure that's understood. Armbar lock. Yo, the thing is, she makes all of her opponents cry. That's her right there. That's Killer Cam right there. She's like, "Are you okay?" She gives her a hug. Oh, girl's like, "Ooh, but you can't say nothing." What you gonna say to Killer Cam? Because she was like, "Nah, you too slow. Jump on you. Throw you in the armbar. It's over with." Killer Cam, she's a beast, and you can't talk.
Monkey jump over. No, why is that your strategy? And hey, y'all boys better watch out now.
What you mean? Boy, we don't get stronger than girls till like middle school.
Break your arm off. And the girl, it's so tough because
you can't. That's what I was about to say. You can't say nothing. What you gonna do if somebody whoop you like that? It's like MMA. When somebody whoop you like that, you really can't do nothing.
It's gone past that. She's hurt. And
and
how they're supposed to raise the arm, and she like, "Hey, don't touch my arm, big dog, or put me on the other side. This arm hurts."
She tapped quick too. She in
a sling for the rest of the week, man.
But she's a beast though. She's a beast though,
she
dog.
Got right on out of there. Eject. This hurts.
I want to show y'all look at that. Look at the other videos. I'll scroll down. Look at that video. That's just the cover. That's just the cover. She be whooping butt out here. So shout out to Killer Cam, man. Hey, my daughter's gonna take Brazilian jiu-jitsu now. She's gonna do something. We're gonna do it together because I can't have her telling me what to do at 15.
I was about to say, Reezy gonna jump down on you, Pops. I'm tired of that now. Now you better come back with some McDonald's if you know what's good.
Man. Yeah, it ain't gonna be. It's a problem. She busy now. Let's move on to some more violence, man. So the bantamweight matchup on UFC between Sean O'Malley ended with a knockout. Sean O'Malley catches him with the overhand right across the jaw and lays him out. And it is over. So shout out to Sean O'Malley, man. This is a highly anticipated fight with a lot of trash talking.
Looks like Lil Jon and the Eastside Boys should be playing in the background during this fight.
Woo! You know what's crazy about MMA? When they get hit, they go straight to the ground. Like there's no.
Yeah,
He
is striking him. He's not throwing punches. He's throwing the hammer.
Hammer punch. Yeah, hammer fist.
Yeah, he just
Donkey Konging him.
God, dog. Help me, Lord. Should have tapped out like that other little girl. You just and getting your face punched off for no good reason.
Boom.
It cannot be good for your health.
I'm sorry, that's funny. That's funny.
That's an unorthodox punch. He just beating you upside your head now.
Well, they said he had been leading southpaw, so he had been jabbing with the right, and then when Buddy rushed in, he switched back to northpaw, caught him with the overhead right cross, and laid him out. If that's true, that's amazing. That's great footwork and anticipation.
Oh, I'm sure he believes it's amazing. Many times he wrapped him upside his head. Help me, Lord, help me, stop punching me. Like Mortal Kombat.
Where is the towel? He was trying to kick too, but it just, oh my God.
Once again, call God.
he looked like he was getting a whipping. He was like, no. You know, you kick your legs and they grab your arm like this. I ain't gonna laugh too hard though, because I know you can still fight.
Hey. I saw you, Mr. Splashcast, Mr. Funny Man. You had all them jokes watching me get my ass whooped. Hey,
you better catch me in the north, because in the south we have protection. So
okay. Better not miss. I'm gonna tell you that much.
We'll leave it there. Let's talk about some redemption. Sha'carri Richardson wins gold over Jamaica. That's crazy. They just said over Jamaica, not over the field, not over everybody else. They said you win gold over Jamaica at the World's 100-meter dash.
Last time. And they are the leader. It's just like if somebody was to beat USA. Hey, no, we didn't beat the field. We beat America in basketball. It is what it is. That's what we came to do.
It was such a good race too, though. Congratulations. She ran 10.65.
She set a record.
Mm-hmm. That's her.
Yeah,
right
and
here.
we happy to see her win. Like
that's her right here.
And I want to clarify this because I see that this narrative already is beginning. Nobody is against Sha'carri. Nobody hated Sha'carri. When you lost, you lost.
I that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this too. Because everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, y'all was for Sha'carri. Y'all was hating on her before. Now that she wins, y'all for her. Y'all celebrating her." We never didn't celebrate Sha'carri. We never. The only thing we wanted her to do was just chill out, just stop talking, just stay low and build. Slab. That's all you got to do. And I think she was young at the time. She was going through a lot. The person that raised her passed away. She was going through everything. They tried to blackball her and say, you know, she smoked weed and that's why she got. And it's like, come on, dog. So, you know, she just had a string of unfortunate events, and she really wasn't humble about it. That's all we talked about. But everything else, we've always celebrated her, and to see her, and you want to root for her more now because she got humbled. Life humbled her, and she got down low. She dug deep.
Love a redemption story.
And she just started.
The Jamaican team, they still black women. We support that 100%. So, yeah,
I'm just happy for her, man. The story could have gone totally different, and we've seen the story go totally different, and differently, and I'm glad that it hasn't. And
if you notice, before we get to this, even in a loss, which we'll talk about a little bit more here, everybody was very classy about the way that they congratulated her. There has been a little bit of back and forth between these two teams, but at the end of the day, y'all compete on a regular basis.
And that's competitive spirit too.
Nobody understands the struggle more than y'all. But this is super cool right here. Play this.
Yeah, man. So it's the crowd. I've listened to the clip. The crowd is kind of loud in the background, but basically they're saying Shelly Ann Fraser says, "You know how long it's been." Let's see. Yeah, I can't unmute. Oh, there it is. So you heard, that's why it was kind of difficult to play the sound, but you heard Sha'carri say because of you. Shelly says in the Jamaican dialect, you know how long USA has since they've gotten a gold medal against us. And I mean Shelly Ann Fraser's like 36, so it's at least 20 years. At the World Championships, and Sha'carri is like because of you. So it's just pretty cool to see the congratulations and the homage all in one conversation. It seems like there was probably some conversations behind the scenes that nobody talked about.
Because at the end of the day, like y'all are both black women. Like whatever y'all got to handle internally. We're going to go out here and run, let the best woman win. And then from there, at the end of the day, it ain't no beef. We both. Hey, we both.
Well, no. When Chicago was out there first time, it was some beef though, because they was talking shit.
She was. I mean, that comes with it, and I don't mind like you said, competitive banter, but it ain't no real hate here. You a legend, and I'm doing my best to become one. Like,
she's on her way, man, and she has been. If you've been in this last thing, and then we'll move on to another black female excellence. If you've noticed over the last few years, she just been running her races. The most she says is, "I'm back and I'm focused." She don't say much else. And the hard work is paying off, man. That's pretty dope. The hard work is paying off. She's good, man. Y'all better rally around her like y'all rally around everybody else. People. We tell the truth out here now. Moving on to our final story.
That's the reason Cam don't get him started. I saw him use an ultimate amount of restraint earlier. He said, and I said, oh Lord.
Somebody threw an interception. Coco Gauff gets her first win over world number 1 Iga Swiatek, or it's probably Swiatek. I might have pronounced it wrong.
We're doing the best we can, Lord.
But she gave a shout out to Cardi B. She ain't giving no shout out. She quoted a Cardi B song. Says, knock me down 9 times, get up 10. Well, in this case, knock me down 7 times, get up 8. She had lost 7 straight to the world number 1. And it was really, to me, kind of a block from her becoming the next great USA female, especially black female tennis star, but female tennis star altogether. And I think she's finally getting past those mental hurdles. So shout out to her.
Yeah, and if you hit the next swipe over, there it is right there. But I'm definitely happy about this. It's fantastic to see. Once again, I think this is just the first defeat of a number 1 for her. And hopefully one day she'll be number 1.
I think she'll definitely, if this is truly the mental block that I think it is, and once she wins her, I don't think she's won a major. I don't think it's called major, but one of the 5. If she wins like a Wimbledon or Australian Open or whatever, once she gets that first win, I think it's gonna be a problem. For her. I think she's gonna be a problem. Yeah.
Hey, I belong here.
Yep. So shout out to Coco Gauff. Where we want to go from here? So we did the violence. We did the little uplift in tennis. Let's go to baseball.
We finna. Wait, let's
go to baseball. We're gonna highlight the stuff first before we make fun of New York and party about the Braves. We're gonna highlight the funny stuff first. Shohei Ohtani. Let me go ahead and open all of these. Pause if necessary.
But while Reggie does that, always remember, follow, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. www.thesplashcast.com. We love you guys. And it is time. I'm blessed and highly favored. I appreciate the way that the Lord been working in my life right now.
They've made, the wave that baseball has participated in modernizing the game and making it more appealing. They've worked on the pitch clock to try to make games faster. They've done all those rules. One of the things that they've had is kind of like, I forgot the exact name of it, but where basically baseball players get to goof off and use whatever they want. It's kind of like similar to how the NFL lets players wear any type of cleats that they want to kind of show off their individualism. This is that version for baseball. The Phillies were playing the Washington Nationals, and who is
the Expos?
The Expos. One of the batters comes up for the Phillies, and his bat is shaped like a pencil all the way through, with the eraser, the little green metal piece that holds the eraser, and the bat looks like a pencil with the lead as the handle. This is so creative.
This is, first of all, this is one of the things that we both threw in the group, like, oh, we got to talk about this. And shout out to baseball finding a way to at least be a little bit aware of, hey, let's bring in some younger people. Let's make it a little bit more interesting. Baseball has notoriously been a stickler for old rules, old fashioned. I think they're trying to turn the corner and be a little bit more aware of what's going on.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna find this guy's name because I had his name. His name is Bryson Scott. is his name, who had the bat like that. And I hope that the Major League Baseball, this is one of the things that they're getting right. I hope that they do stuff like this throughout the season. I think this is a great marketing ploy because it brings in people earlier. Baseball has they get all their views August, September, October. Most of the time. You get some views. From a core
group of fans.
Yeah. Now, the core group, you watch it all year and that's your team. But, like, for the most part, they're going to get what do they call them? The casuals. The casual fans, they get them in September, October. This is a great way to lead into that season and get the viewership up. Because now you're going to watch it in August and September. It's great marketing to me. Great marketing. Shout out to Miguel Cabrera. He is quietly on his farewell tour. He is retiring after this year. Is he the greatest Detroit Tiger? I don't know baseball to make that claim.
No.
But he's up there.
Ain't Ted Williams a Detroit Tiger?
I don't know baseball in order to support or deny that claim. But not the history. I know baseball. I know Braves history. Miguel Cabrera seemingly Yankee jokes with Jose Ramirez while getting his retirement gift. The joke was, Jose Ramirez, if you go back to the cover of last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, Jose Ramirez laid out a baseball player from Chicago, he who shall not be named.
I said Tim Anderson.
I'll try to spare you, bro. I'll try to spare you, Tim.
And I think Ty Cobb probably wins this. But after looking at it, he right up there.
Yeah,
and the rest of these people are not anywhere near. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But either way.
But the joke was Miggy has been he's always been a jokester. So he gets his honorary guitar from Cleveland and squares up with Ramirez and everybody kind of laughs. Oh, that sucks for you, Tim Anderson. You're going to be the butt of that joke until somebody else gets knocked out.
It sucks for Tim Anderson's kids. They still making jokes about your dad getting his ass whooped. And the messed up part is a lucky punch. I hate that. That's the one part that really just drives me nuts. That was a lucky punch.
But don't bury it, though.
But a lucky punch.
Shout out to Miggy, though. Shout out to Miggy on his retirement. But yeah, it was a lucky punch.
He having good jokes.
I mean, yeah, he a big dude. So that was actually my follow-up question. You don't think he's the greatest Tiger of all time? You said it's probably Ty Cobb, which is correct. But I mean, he's definitely Ring of Honor, and he never got a championship. I don't think.
Oh, he's a Hall of Famer. Ring of Honor, Hall of Fame. And
I was about to say, so you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Justin Verlander were playing in black and white baseball, so yeah.
Yeah, man. So he is well on his way. Talk about a career ending, great career ending, and a great career is beginning. Julio Rodriguez sets new major league record with 17 hits in 4 games.
God,
17 hits in 4 games. That means you bat. First of all, whoever you were playing sucks. That's 5 times you went to bat. To get 17 hits, you have to go to bat 20 times. He didn't go 17 for 17. So you got to go to bat at least 20 times. Whoever this is.
Wasn't missing, boy. Somebody had a rough day at the ballpark for sure.
Somebody. This is 4 games.
Damn.
The whole pitching staff is sick of him. Starters, mid inning guys. Man, I'd be tired. Listen, Julio Rodriguez he has Seattle. I think they're still number 1 in the West. In the AL West.
It's always
in the AL at least.
Seattle's competitive, man. The Mariners are like.
You just like nostalgia because you like playing the game, the Super Nintendo game.
They used to have Jay Buhner, Alex Rodriguez. That is what it is. King Griffey Jr. But just Seattle Mariners is one of the teams that I feel like everybody should like a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you're always gonna. It's like everybody likes. Yeah, you're right. Nobody really does not like King Griffey Jr. There's no naysayers of King Griffey Jr. or anything.
Oh, nah. You better not. Him and Hank Aaron are 2 people you cannot speak ill of.
Willie Mays is another one. The Angels, y'all suck, man. The Angels are reportedly calling up first baseman Nolan Schanuel after being drafted less than 6 weeks. It's the fastest a person has been called up to the majors. It's basically after 41 days. He played 21 games in the minors. Two things, because I'm going to back up, because I did say that the Angels suck, and I mean that. But I also want to say congratulations to Nolan Schanuel, because you are the first person that they called up, which means they passed. And it sucks for the rest of the people, but you must have been doing pretty well for them to say, all right, well, let's go ahead and bring them on up, add them to the core.
Clear out. Tell me when you're done.
And also, y'all suck, Angels. All right, go ahead.
I'm here to talk. We're going to be real here for a moment. Stop ruining people's careers. Just stop doing it. You got Mike Trout over there in hell. Shohei Ohtani doing. He playing every damn position on the field at this point. You guys just destroying him, wasting him. And the man was in the dugout, reduced to tears the way y'all sorry as y'all play. Now y'all got this dude here who looks like a promising prospect, and you just rushing him to hell. Why would you do that? Have some respect. Y'all know y'all are not competitive. Y'all, why are you rushing him? There's nothing for you to play for. No, I'd be like, nah, I'm hurt. Bro, we're playing meaningless baseball.
You can't say nah. You wouldn't say nah, I'm hurt as a rookie. You would do that. They know that they pick the rookie because they know they can bring him up.
Don't use me.
Oh my God.
This is reverse ageism.
They fighting. The Ravens and the football team Commanders are fighting. Because a lineman just laid out a DB. I mean, laid him. All right, go back to the Angels.
Nolan, just say Nolan. Just say no. Don't go. Tell them that you do like everybody else does when they want a day off work. My stomach hurt. Whatever it is, do not let them waste your time. They're not competitive, and they're not competitive with two Hall of Famers.
Here's
you
one
showing up?
right here.
This is it right here.
Ohtani hits his 43rd home run. He is tied for the lead. 43 home runs on a grand slam with 89 RBIs. Boy, y'all suck.
Are duking it out. And you know what, MLB, you're really blowing this. We have not had a good back and forth home run race like this since steroids. Can we at least like?
That's true, though. That's true. It's true.
Like,
bring the juice back.
This is really good.
Bring the juice back.
And you have Shohei Ohtani, which is clearly going to be, that's fine.
Full cultural appropriation.
Who's going to be an MVP. And you have Matt Olson playing for the best team in baseball. Once again, just call me and Reggie if y'all need help with marketing. We can help you, point you in the right direction of the people who are good in your league. I know for some odd reason you guys aren't really good at like spotlighting them. E.g. Ronald Acuna. But y'all need to do better. Angels, you need to do better. And Nolan, do not show up to work, bro. Tell him you got somewhere else to be. You got a doctor's appointment.
Oh man, but I feel like we talk about Shohei like 3 times a month.
Yes,
like he does something amazing.
Babe Ruth.
He does something amazing 3 times a month.
His biopic and his biography needs to be named.
Erasing Babe Ruth. Forgetting a legend.
I cannot wait until Babe Ruth has been erased from all the history books.
Why? Because he's a Yankee?
I just want to see it. Because it's always like, oh, he's the best baseball player ever. Funny story. we got a better one.
Oh man, let's move on to the
yes.
Let's move on to the Braves.
Yes,
you ready?
Get this going. You know what time it is? And when this budget go up, I'm finna have a real party in here. I'm going to have rave lights. That is going to be a thing.
The Braves the franchise has reached 11,000 wins. Shout out to the Braves with their win over the Giants this weekend. They reached 11,000.
Again, baby. Only 5 teams to ever have 11,000 wins. It is our Bravos. I love it. I love it. I love it. And this is number one. Shout out. This is sentimental.
That boy is on a acceptance speech. Go ahead, brother.
Extremely important. This has been our most consistent team. This is our most beloved team. They have held us down essentially since birth. You are very easily can associate where you were in life with the players on the Braves team.
All the way from 1990.
Name all the players from the championship team. And being from Georgia, it's tough, man. We get our asses kicked, but not the damn Bravos. We chopping, we rocking. Let's go, Bravo and rave. We raving, baby.
So
I'm not gonna know what to do when I get this whole thing raving. Oh, y'all gonna be like, oh.
Not only did we get our 11,000th win, we were the first team this year to get to 80 wins with the win over the Giants. So this weekend we were the first to 60, first to 70, first to 80. We have been consistently in first place all year, and we are out here playing really well. Really, really well. We've been consistent, man.
Yo, I love this, man. This is my joy. Yeah, you already know, Nessa.
Chop on.
Man.
So
next up,
man, the bullpen has been playing well. In August, the Braves bullpen has been one of the best with a 1.86 ERA alongside Pierce Johnson, who has a 0 ERA. And let me say that again. He has not allowed a run in 13 Ks in 10 outings, 10 appearances. And with the way that the bullpen is constructed now, you don't have starting pitchers go 8 innings anymore. 7 innings is impressive. Unless they have a no-hitter going, you will never see a starter pitcher go more than 7 innings.
Sometimes they have a no-hitter, and like, hey,
man. You had 102. You know what I mean? So they get them out of there. So the mid-inning pitchers, they don't even call them relievers. They call them – no, they are relievers. Yes. They are relievers. The relievers come in. And then, of course, you got your closers. And we have been pitching really, really well.
Yes, number one. And me and Reggie have specifically asked the pitching to step up, and they have. And you can see the results. When we get good pitching, we are damn near an impossible team to beat. Because
we score too much. Yeah, it's kind of like if the Chiefs had like really, really good defense. You won't beat them. When the defense for the Chiefs is playing well, you won't beat Patrick Mahomes. We're kind of like that this year. And what I take from this with the Braves bullpen, the starters were struggling. Spencer Strider went out there and got mollywopped one game. Only took one game. He came right back though. But Charlie Morton got mollywopped. Bryce Elder had about 3 or 4 starts that were horrible. And it was for the bats and the relievers that actually kept us in the game. Those are the stats that you don't really see. Is though not the ones when we're leading, it's the ones that kept us in the game when we win like 7-4. But we were down 4-0. You know what I mean? So those are what I see, and that's what I take from this right here. Shout out to Dusty. Dusty Baker has played or coached and managed in nearly 3% of all Major League Baseball games ever. He played for the Braves. That's why he's in the Braves segment. We claim all excellence. All excellence.
Former Atlanta Brave Dusty Baker. You got to put that sauce on
it. He was also a coach in San Francisco during the Barry Bonds years. And then he also coached the Houston Asterisks. Well, actually, he got Astros. Houston Astros, as well as he coached Cincinnati and a bunch of other teams in between. He was given a horrible situation. We're really not that bad. He had given a talented roster with a horrible situation and had to basically play PR man and clean up everything because his reputation was so good.
Just doesn't get destroyed by people throwing baseballs at their head because players who didn't play on the team anymore cheated. Dusty Baker, once again, Atlanta Brave, baseball icon, black baseball icon. Man, name something after this dude here. If you play, you got to think, out of every 100 baseball games ever played, he has been in 3 of them. That is an amazing feat.
Baseball been around for over 100 years, and they play 100 and
you are legitimately baseball. Games. Every day, every night, all day, all night. Baseball.
Yep.
Congratulations again, man.
And you really don't have a bad thing to say about him either. So the Braves played the Yankees. Oh man. Stupid Spike Lee video. There we go. All right, we back.
Well,
we back. I'm gonna close this out though. Spike Lee.
That's fine.
Spike Lee had to say basically the Braves are the best team in baseball, and he knew it. They interviewed Bally Total Sports, I believe, interviewed him.
If y'all follow the Instagram page, as soon as I saw this, I posted this. Spike, once again, also HBCU graduate. Shout out to the Morehouse men. Avid New York Yankee fan. He made it very clear. He said, hey, these guys have been whooping our butts. They're the best team in baseball, and don't blame the losing on me. Which all fair. He was a good sport about it. It's one of those guys that we respect tremendously. A true sports fan, true baseball fan. And he kept it real. Hey, Braves are the best team in baseball, which gets us here. Now, we live podding, so we're going to keep it real. We might lose tonight. We down 7-4 against the Mets. I know the Mets trying to get their issue off against us because they've been getting their ass whooped. But as of right now, August 21st at 8:18 p.m., the Atlanta Braves are 11-2 against those teams from that city. And y'all know what that means. I don't hate many teams. Y'all know the two teams that I hate. Reggie's University of Georgia Bulldogs. Those guys can go to hell. And the evil empire themselves, the New York Yankees. I hate them with all of like Leonard Washington hate. Hate. I hate them. I hate everything about them. It ain't nothing that I like. Everything that I hate. And to see them struggle, to see them and the Mets, and I don't really hate the Mets. What I hate about the Mets is they tried to be the Yankees and buy baseball. To see both of them in the bottom third of baseball, it brings joy to me. It brings immense joy to my life. And we will rave for that too.
They beating our ass though.
7-4 last time I saw.
10-4.
Oh Lord, they turning up. They mad. Hey, get your issue off, bro. You don't mean nothing. Cause we raving. We dancing on your grave. Sorry. Peace
oh man. And we still gonna talk about y'all pain anyway. We don't care.
Oh yeah, we finna do more dancing. Yo, I'm telling y'all. 2024, I'm gonna have a rave blizzard. Y'all ain't gonna know what to do. When these lights get to going, they're like, oh man.
The Yankees and Mets have the largest decrease in playoff odds from opening day since Fangraphs and any other betting site has started in 2016. They went from 77% to less than 1% for the Mets and 81% to 6% of being a sure thing to make the playoffs. Their odds went
and that's
from
a lot of money to suck. Let me tell you that much. Dancing on your graves. You spend a lot of money to be home early. That's like going out and spending all your money, but still coming home at like 9:30. Damn, you back already?
It's rough, man.
Couldn't have fun that fast. You just left.
The New York teams are struggling, dog, and it looks like. I don't really remember the last time I've seen baseball playoffs where there was neither one of these teams in the playoffs. I don't remember that. Do you?
Need a rave hat. I just want to dance all the time. Whatever I can do so that I can enjoy them struggle, it makes me feel good. Like more pain, more strife.
And this year I've had a root canal. I've had to reschedule a colonoscopy, and both of them are more fun than watching that team play. And the pain and misery is never going to end. Never going to end.
So this is a Mets super fan who has some health issues. He had 2 colonoscopies and all of this other stuff going on. And he said all of that was better than watching the Mets play. And he was sincere because he looked like he was about to cry. It's a giant phone clip he got on over there.
Emotional damage. Now, I don't know
damage.
if the shirt and the jeans is on the same person because they're facing in two different directions. It's very reminiscent of the Mets, though. Their team facing in two different directions. One is facing in bad, and the other is facing in worse. This brings a Miss joy to me. And yeah, I love all of this. After this segment, I'm gonna go get me a beer so I can celebrate how I want to. Yeah, we doing more raving, baby. More raving, more struggle.
Hey man, got
more
some
money,
soccer.
more problems, huh?
We're gonna close our splashes of the week out with some soccer, man. So Inter Miami has done it. They went from the worst record to winners of the 2023 League Champions Cup after they got Messi. I don't think they've lost, and I don't think it's been close. I think this is the closest. They ended up winning on penalty kicks, and they won the League Cup. They went from worst to first.
So now the difference between these two is the Mets, the Yets. That's what, let's call them that. The Yets. The team, New York as a city, the New York Yets. They spent a bunch of money and got nothing in return. Inter Miami spent a bunch of money and got a trophy in return. This is how you do it. This is how you buy a sport.
Ain't really nothing you can do for it, man. Look at they crying and stuff.
It's just like the New York Jets.
And they also who was our star player when we won the cup? Who was it? Joseph Martinez. They got Joseph Martinez just down there chilling. Just they look like they're like head and shoulders above everybody else.
But this was the like they spent a lot of money, a lot of hoopla. Just worked.
And you see Messi. Messi's always a good guy. He gives Captain Yedlin, who was the captain before Messi, he gives him the armband and makes him lift the trophy, not Messi, because he says they wouldn't have won it without him. So Messi playing great gratitude and being a great guy to and showing the greatness of winning the League Cup. Just a great dude. Humble.
Yeah, and like this is what you want. You spend the money. This is what you want. This was everything about this was successful. This did not miss. This is as good of a flip.
No, AJ.
We'll see, man. We might just have the group pod. That would be dope. But I mean, yeah, I'm happy about this. I'm sure Inter Miami is thrilled. The money is up through the roof.
Yeah, MLS has they've hit the lottery with this Messi. Did you see? I don't think you put it on the list. But speaking of Messi, they are now preparing to offer Mbappe. Now we can't compete.
Not yet.
With what they got over there, because they preparing to offer Mbappe, and the Middle East.
They already made that offer. That offer he said no to, but what that does do is increase his value. Hey, they will pay me that over there. So
for 1 year,
asking price was before,
$750 million for 1 year, $750 million. I'm sorry, I'd be right over there. Whatever you get, whatever I got, $750 million. Listen, I'd be right over there.
I'll be back.
Listen.
But when I come back, nothing was the same.
Nothing was the same. I'm building a colony on Mars. I ain't never come. What?
$750 million for
on top of the money I already got. I'm sorry, but anyway,
I am buying unnecessary things. I am spending money irresponsibly, irregularly. I'm acting different. I'm a new person. Whoever you met me as, I'm no longer him. This new person is a new person you have never met before. And the money is up.
That boy said, I am going to change. Y'all that say money ain't going to change y'all are liars. You just didn't get enough.
$750 million.
$750 million. So, AJ, I'm glad you said that about Messi. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to seem like a hater. Yeah. But I knew the MLS championship wasn't a big deal to Messi as it was to everybody else.
I disagree there. I think it proves I am that dude. I come over here and took the worst team in the league. We won the chip just because I showed up. That puts you in a different stratosphere. I am the best person in this league.
I don't think so. I think he was already in that stratosphere. I think he was in that. He was there before. If he never came, he would be still in that stratosphere.
If he doesn't win, then there's a whole different situation. It's kind of like whatever. He came here and immediately that is the best team in the league. Yeah, I think it means a lot to him, and they're going to give him a team eventually. This is the gift that keeps on giving.
Just give me more money. But ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the pregame. We're going to take about 5 minutes. We'll be right back with episode 117 of the Splash Cast, Monday Night Raw. Well, we talk about HBCU news around the culture, news around basketball, news around football. What you got before we out?
Beverages. It's $750 million. I'm going to tell y'all, homecoming going to be different. It's going to be the best homecoming that anybody has ever had. I'm acting unusual.
I can't even fathom what homecoming would be like at $5 million, much less $750 million homecoming.
Things is different.
Y'all gonna have to name the stadium after me. Yeah, you gonna name the stadium after me, dog.
This job. But we finna turn these things up, and I got a charitable donation that'll get me a lot of cooperation around here.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. What we doing next?
Intro may just follow me out the whole weekend.
You in gang territory, police wearing green suits. Talk out on the magazine, they just want powder they can tweet. Out the trenches, bitches know I get flyed in a parachute. Fuck that bitch, I hit her bottom and top for a parachute. I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Pull a 4 and a 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw on 17 as braces just to go gamble. I'm a real street nigga, therefore I'm hard to handle. A meal cash and all 20, shit look real sloppy. Introduce the world to chicken, let these rappers copy. All this ice all over my body, never played hockey. While the weed growing, I'm chillin' in the mountains hiking. I'm always ballin' in New York, but never been to Dykeman. 20 racks for one night stand, don't need a bitch to like me. All I want is money, nothing else excite me. I get checks, no Nike, but I got plug prices. The streets hot, they spinning shit like a ceiling fan. If you get caught up, don't you tell to get up out the jam. Zone 1 to 6 in Atlanta, shit like gangland. Everybody going crazy for them free bands. You in gang territory, police wearing green suits. Talk out on the magazine, they just want powder they can tweet. Out the trenches, bitches know I get flyed in a parachute. Fuck that bitch, I hit her bottom and top for a parachute. I'm affiliated with them ones that's gon' bring hell through. Pull a 4 and a 16, I'm a real nigga stand up. I throw on 17 as braces just to go gamble. I'm a real street nigga, therefore I'm hard to handle. Told my bitch to leave me alone, go home and count up some rent. I'm a certified street nigga, can't have me looking wet. When I come through, I'm on 2 pills, snap that shit from the back. I got straight hair around my finger, hear the good, then give her a check. I'm a rude nigga, I get screwed up and might buy a bitch a ghost. I got 2 glasses of Drake on me at all times. I told her dry that double law, taught her how to whip it like a boat. Got some shit from out of Paris, hitting the whip it, doing coke. Kicking down a nigga door and then I took off out of sight. It's so hard for Pro to love you, been around.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 117 of the Splash Cast, Monday Night Raw. I am your co-host, Reggie.
I'm your co-host, Norwood. Our powers combined, we are your HBCU homeboys. That is Future. And the other voice you may or may not remember, that is Young Scooter. You may remember the song Columbia. He is back. Him and Future have another hit. I will say that he took a hiatus, at least as far as I'm concerned. But that is a jam, 100%.
Yeah, man. I don't know why everybody, it seemed like everybody in the music industry was like waiting on everybody else to drop, and now they just dropping everything at the end of the summer and going into the fall. So good music, man, on the Splashcast 48 pack, which will be out Wednesday, pregame out tomorrow. We just finished our splashes of the week, not tomorrow, Wednesday as well. Splashcast pregame splashes of the week, where we discuss violence, uplifting stories, and of course baseball, Braves, rave, baby. With that being said, man, let's go ahead and we're back with an HBCU segment. We are 1 week out from college football. 1 week out. South Carolina State and Jackson State kick off the season next Saturday in Atlanta for the kickoff classic. So we are 1 week back. We won't be there, but you know, we'll be watching possibly. I don't know where I'll be.
You're doing something.
But it's been 1 week, y'all. These kids and athletes have been on the damn campus for 1 week, and this ain't got nothing to do with sports, but this is one of my schools
HBCU podcast,
that I gotta have a
and
conversation
we see
about.
y'all now, we gotta talk about it.
Dog, they've been on campus. Somebody,
who in the hell? We need to know who did it.
Somebody at Southern stole the security golf cart and drove it through the student center and dipped. It's 1 week into the school year. Come on, y'all. We got a good team this year. We picked to win the West. We supposed to go represent, and we are possibly win the East. We trying to
like that, Reggie.
They had too much of that oil in them. That's what it was.
Wow! Wow! Whoa!
No. They don't call. So they call brown down there oil. They don't call not Omega oil.
We got to clarify.
I'm not Greek. I don't gotta clarify. That's what they call it. That's culture. That's what they call that down there.
But I love this number one because everybody who's ever gone to, I assume a college, but specifically HBCU, boy, I sure would like one of them golf carts. And HBCU
be having extra tires on there and rear view mirrors. I'm like, where all that? That's what my tuition money go to. A tricked out golf cart. They be out there though. But
I mean,
they also be at. Yeah, they not right. I'd have took it and spray painted and changed the colors and used that for tailgate.
Somebody be out by fire about this though.
Oh yeah, they gone because that must somebody and also before we move on, stop putting everything on the internet, people. You just got somebody kicked out because if this had stayed in the house, he probably wouldn't have said nothing.
No, you thought. Somebody
tried to shoot us a bell.
Y'all tore up a good golf cart now.
Speaking of golf, man, Steph Curry and ESPN partnered to broadcast a series about Howard University golf on ESPN and ESPNU and ESPN Plus. They will announce when it will come out, but this has been announced and has been solidified. Shout out to Howard, shout out to Steph, shout out to ESPN.
Absolutely. This is what we want to see. Thank you for sticking with HBCU, Steph. So many times you'll see these things kind of happen and then go on to live the rest of his life. The man's trying to compete for another world title. He's trying to win another MVP. He's trying to, he got a lot on his plate. And he hasn't left. He's been a real supporter for this team. Verbally, physically, he's been present. And thank you.
I think it's also a capitalization on what?
They still going?
No, so I just got what? Anyway, Steph Curry. We talk about Steph Curry. I will say this ESPN is also looking at this from a profit margin. You got to pay some homage to Jackson State because their documentary that came out with Amazon was like number 2 on Amazon for a long time. So I think the success from Jackson State doing that definitely influenced the yay or nay, the thumbs up, thumbs down for this documentary for ESPN. And the fact that it's on ESPN.
Speaking of ESPN and HBCUs,
But that
this
two
is iconic.
HBCU alum hosting First Take twice a week, talking about football. Shannon Sharp from Savannah State, Stephen A. from Winston-Salem, I believe. Yeah, Winston-Salem.
That's not George T. I mean Jeff T.
Nah, that's his brother. That look like his brother.
It does.
They will be hosting First Take. Shannon is slated to join him twice weekly for the football season. So they have not signed a deal yet, but apparently this is in the works and they are just working out the formalities.
And I want to be very clear. This is, now that Shannon has left Skip, this is the pairing that everybody wants to see. And for the pairing that everybody wants to see to be two HBCU graduates is extremely, extremely valuable. And I don't think that it's getting enough time or messaging that that's where these guys come from. Because this is going to be the biggest sports show on the biggest sports network. And they're going to do this 2 times a week, every week. And sure, they're iconic in their own right, but they're iconic HBCU stars as well.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Sorry, man. I got a random text message that it said, "Where are you right now?" And I don't know who this, somebody texted the wrong phone from Chicago. I'm about to get, you know what I'm about to do? Hey, Candace, somebody text me. Answer this for me.
Where are you? Who are you?
Who are you? Who you talking to? I'm gonna get this right to Candace. Hey, call him from whatever and get me in trouble.
Baby, somebody playing on my phone again. Come here. I need you to talk to him. You know, I'm up here on the podcast, and you know.
But back to it. Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp. This is going to be the loudest podcast. The loudest show on TV. They're gonna be yelling at each other. I can't wait because Shannon is made his thing about being unfiltered. He's very he got the yak and the all of that, and Stephen A. lets people that come on his show. Can you imagine him, Stephen A. and Mad Dog? They let people come on that show and kind of he lets their personalities. He lets their personality shine. So I would love to see the dynamic of these two, and I can't wait for it. It's going to be funny.
I don't need to hear Mad Dog say anything other than I'm done. I don't want to hear nothing from that man. Nothing. Nathan.
Benedict College, near and dear to both our hearts, man. We both have family that went to Benedict up there in Columbia.
And friends. I said and friends.
Yeah. Family, friends, grandmother was there for a long time. They are releasing, I believe, 11 signs around the city of Columbia that has honoring the Benedict College football team that went were the HBCU
Undefeated
national champions. They went 11-0, and they were the SIAC conference champions. So
well deserved. And that's a hell of a football team. That is a hell of a football team. If you haven't had a chance to watch them, you definitely should.
They are exciting to watch.
A very interesting team again this year, but yeah, they ain't played no games last year.
Not at all, man. Not at all. They're pretty good. And of course, their head coach was the former offensive coordinator at Southern. Too. I'm gonna get one. Talking about that one. The Benedict College. Of course for you, but. I mean, it's I like Benedict, man. So shout out to them, SIAC, and they're the winningest team in South Carolina, not named Clemson. And Clemson ain't really won nothing last year either. So, they won the ACC. So,
what's that?
Shout out to Benedict. And of course, the Black College Player of the Year. Be on the lookout, man. There's a few players that they have on here, some from North Carolina Central, the defending Black College champions. Howard, FAMU, Benedict, I believe that's Texas Southern down there, or North Carolina Central. They have a bunch of players. This is all, I think they had 30 players. They had a few from Southern, a few from Fort Valley, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, of course, Grambling as well. So shout out to, be on the lookout for them, man.
And we also have Houston Townsell, linebacker, Hampton University. Of course, we always gonna highlight the Hampton Pirates because best wishes to everybody on this list. And yeah, we look forward to seeing who's going to be the player of the year this year in Black college football.
And those player of the years are going to get a lot of media exposure this year. So I hope they can take advantage of that. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the HBCU segment. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break. Then we'll be right back for our basketball segment. Basketball, right? Yeah, we're going to talk about a few things. The Knicks, more James Harden, and the Hawks. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
And we will be making references to The Office.
Hey, I still be in the trench with my grandma. Still shooting crap, still taking care of my mama. Bring my niggas back, I got 200 on your honor. Get these bitches whack, I got another one on Nana side. Know a bitch for real, know we bliss for real. Cause who told a bitch for real? All the way can't give a deal out to a nigga who really mobbing. I see that bitch might rob her, I'm tripping, I got a problem. My bitch all know I'm solid, get that pain, I might re-rock it. From drink down to them Roxys, look cutting about them homies, but gon' take it to the grave. I ain't never gave no names, all I know forever I'm banging. How the fuck you leave me hanging? You the reason I got famous. You see cuz you better pay them. All this money got me anxious. Bitch, all this money got me.
Ops think I'm letting up, finally unblock me from they page. Hood hero like Luke Cage, I'm just glad I ducked them raids. I send ops to outer space, I send packs to other states. I had money before fame, don't get killed, trying to catch no fade. Niggas saying names, they know me and gang don't play no games. Cost 100K, hope this lawyer be my brother case. Take the city to flames, bright, so I told Hush to 10 my frames. I ain't switching lanes, gangster till they put me in my grave. They know this shit real, I ain't gotta keep going in details. Turn the city up, we out here spinning like a spree wheel. Platinum in the streets and I ain't even dropped my pre-sale. I ain't need scales, I dish out loads, I've been a team player.
I'm still eating off emails, my first jug was a P-sale. Got $1 million cash in retail, won't shop again once these gone. I'm locking in that green phone, my best work. Young turn Nick still network, she a bad bitch, probably ever heard no rap bitch.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 117 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw, the Around the League edition. We're talking about news around HBCU, news around basketball, news around football. We are now going to jump into our basketball segment, ladies and gentlemen. We got a few things we're going to talk about today. But before we get into any of the news, Norwood wanted to tell you about the story of a television.
Oh, first of all, that was 42 Doug, free 42, free Doug. But yes, I just saw this, and there's no way that I couldn't talk about this. Lamar Odom posted he was locked in to watch USA basketball. JaVale McGee reached out and basically said, hey, man, you need a bigger TV. Now, the reason, there's a couple things here. Number one, I don't exactly know how big this TV is, but he definitely needs a bigger TV. If you dated a Kardashian, you should have a TV bigger than your fireplace. Just feel like that's the thing. Also, the way that this TV is set on this wall, I don't know if y'all have ever watched The Office before, but Michael Scott had that TV on the wall, and it's about this big.
Yeah. This is plasma.
Yes. Yes. And this is exactly what that TV looks like. I don't know why he has a Michael Scott TV, but if you swipe right, he did get an upgrade.
JaVale McGee calls him out. No, that's not JaVale McGee. That's just a fan calls him out. And then Lamar goes and gets a bigger TV the next day.
I'm happy. You deserve it, Lamar. If anybody deserves it, you deserve a TV. I just saw Boosie's bedroom. He got a TV big as the whole wall. And then he has another TV just there, and then he has a projector. And yeah, Lamar, get your big TV, dog. And TV's not even really that expensive no more. You get whatever size TV you want to. For $800, you can get whatever TV you want to.
From what I see, Lamar may have just moved into this space. Because if you look in the reflection, ain't nothing there but a couch. Ain't nothing in the house but a couch. I think Lamar had just moved into that space. So we're going to grant Lamar some grace and say that you didn't get bullied into buying a big TV. You just had one that was going to...
You had the old TV from your last buy.
Yeah, you had that to be delivered the next day. Don't let nobody bully you into debt, bro. Don't let nobody bully you into debt.
No, hey, that TV was a Michael Scott TV, dog. We're going to laugh at that. Now, this is funny.
I named this segment, It's a Dirty Game. And we're going to start out with the Knicks, dog. So, the Knicks, if you remember, there was a claim that they had a rat in their organization. Someone that was leaking footage, information, and all of that stuff. It came all the way back to when Draymond punched Jordan Poole. Not too long after that, some stuff came out about the Knicks, and everybody was like, where did that information come from? But it got swept under the rug because everything else was so wild crazy in Golden State. Well, apparently the Knicks did their own internal investigation, and they found a rat that claims that former video staff member Ike Azotim secretly funneled info to the Raptors, including the new head coach Darko Rajakovic, who is their new head coach. It is alleged that he illegally took I'm gonna say it. He pulled a Donald Trump. He illegally took thousands of proprietary files with him to his new position and gave it to the Raptors. It includes materials that's about the playbook, play frequency, a prep book, and video scouting. He gave it to the head coach, the developmental coach, right after he was hired. The Knicks are saying you just signed an agreement that you would leave everything is confidential. Of course, you have to sign that because that's how they protect themselves from this happening anymore. He took 3,000 files consisting of film, information, and data. I mean, if you're gonna leave, you're gonna leave.
Using this last year? You know me. I gotta ask. How the hell y'all end up 10? And let me be clear about this. I'm gonna say this, and I don't care if y'all get mad or not. I don't give a damn. Why the Knicks? The Knicks are not nearly good enough for you to.
You were better than them without. They were better than y'all without you.
Yeah, now that's the other part. Raptors, how the hell are y'all 10 and cheating? You ended up 10 and you cheated? The hell was you doing?
Y'all are awful.
You had to cheat. Think about this. You cheated, and the only teams you was better than were the Pacers, Wizards, Magic, Hornets, and Pistons. You suck. Mm-hmm. You don't just suck at basketball.
You don't suck at basketball. You suck at cheating.
You really suck at cheating.
Now, I will say this is his new position. So he just went over there. But he was still in the files for a while, though. He stole stuff today.
I'm at, what are you stealing? You're not stealing. Okay. I don't support theft, stealing, any of that. But if you're going to steal something good. If you told me you stole this, and I'm a Hawks fan, I'm like, for what? What are you doing here, son? Get rid of this. Get rid of this, and we're gonna get rid of you. You're too stupid. You know
that's one of them. That's one of them. Daddy, look what I made.
Celtics or the Bucks. The 76ers are a dumpster fire.
Ooh, we gonna get there.
Right now.
It's a dirty game. We gonna get there too, boy. It's a dirty game in Philly. But before we get to Philly, though, we gonna laugh at the NBA if it comes up.
Cheat up. Cheat up.
So the NBA Facebook account got hacked. I think I need to go to media playing in order to see it all. The Facebook account got hacked. And one of the strangest news to come out, a former social media manager for the NBA hacked their Twitter account. And basically,
kind of.
What do you do?
I don't like that the term is considered hacked. He was just still logged in. Y'all ain't kicked me out. I definitely done that. Left the company and then still have the emails keep coming for about 2 or 3 weeks.
You've done that in many places. Left the place, kept the Netflix. That's like keeping the Netflix password after you break up. Like you still got that Hulu.
Boy,
still got that Hulu.
I'm logged in places you wouldn't believe.
There's a lot of jokes right there. That's a layup. That's off the backboard, but there's a lot of jokes.
Oh my God.
But back to this story. So this guy, Dean Janu, says, I left my position. This is on the NBA Twitter account or the X account, whatever y'all want to call it. I left my position as a digital and social content publisher with the NBA to start my own business. My team at Epoch Digital Consulting provides you with full service social media management and PR for small businesses, influencers, and charitable organizations, $100 per month. So he's basically like going off.
Hey, take that number now. Take that number.
Take the number down, but they don't have the rest.
Hey, we might have $100 for you, Pop. Now you have to log out our shit if we fire you now.
But there was more though. I don't know why they they deleted the other one. Dang. They deleted that fast. So the other one said
yes.
Go ahead.
Now I'm gonna tell y'all, number one, I didn't believe this. I happened to be scrolling on a friend of ours, Curtis Johnson. I was on his Instagram and he posted it, and I like to vet everything that we post because it is important that we maintain our integrity. And he was like, I was like, hey, where did you see it? He said, man, I just happened to hop on and scroll it. It was just there for a little bit. And I was like, I need you to send it to me. So he sent it to me, and then he actually sent me the link where it all is. But the original post said, how do I log out of this? Which lets me know that he was still logged in and nobody ever kicked him out. And then it says, haven't worked here in weeks. Anyway, the NBA overextends its social media employees greatly to the detriment of their health and social lives for the salary less than $50,000 annually after taxes. NBA, y'all make a ton of money. And social media is very important to you. Pay them people more than $50,000. He said, I've worked 14-hour shifts without breaks at times. Shout out to Adam Silver. Adam Silver's life is constantly on fire. It's one thing after another.
I was looking for it to post it up there.
Little pistol starter, shooting guns, having guns. James Harden and Daryl Morey fighting every day. It's just a never-ending thing with him. And now, yeah, you left your social media manager logged in, and he just started telling. He said that they don't get health insurance until 90 days on the job. I think it should. Ain't it like 30 days? Damn.
Normally it's 30. No, you get health insurance from. Yeah, it's at the worst 30 days. Normally you don't get vested for like everything else. Now I will say, I don't know. I know social media managers are very important, but I'm 1,000% sure he's not the social media manager for the NBA. There's multiple people. There's a department.
Got the login.
There's multiple, just like the Hawks have multiple people that run the social media that log in. And
hey,
tweet.
if they can have the login, they probably shouldn't wait 90 days for health insurance. But
and that
if
is
you
dirty.
Keep it up, he gonna start a trend now. I bet you the next one get a raise. Don't do this again, please, Lord.
Or not. It worked out for the NBA. Still got us talking about him. There ain't no games being played other than. I'm surprised you didn't put FIBA on here. Now that I think about it, you not watching the FIBA tournament?
Well, yeah, but the NBA is not. The NFL is a dumpster fire, but the NBA ain't really knocking it out of the park either. Actually, MLB quietly has just kind of sat out and said, you know what? I don't have no foolishness going on. Y'all can act up all you want to.
No, I asked you, were you watching FIBA? You didn't put anything about FIBA on.
Nothing really. What they just won the game against Germany. They came back. Anthony Edwards went crazy. That's really it, though. The season is almost here, man. That's what I'm here for.
The season ain't here till October, but yeah. So I think this is with FIBA. One thing that is interesting is that the Bahamas are now in qualifying terms for the Olympics because of DeAndre Ayton, who quietly looks like he's gotten a lot better. Eric Gordon, who I was surprised, and then Buddy Hield. Eric Gordon's mom is from the Bahamas or Bahamian.
Where is Eric Gordon playing basketball at right now?
Phoenix. He went to the Phoenix Suns. So shout out to the Bahamas, man.
And as much hell as we give DeAndre Ayton, and it is a lot of hell, he's been able to use his FIBA time to show off skills that I'd never seen him dribble a basketball like that. No, China. He's not going to China next season, but maybe. No. But I do think that he will. He gonna get that China money before he get done. James gonna go over there and he gonna go over there and go crazy.
Yeah. So James Harden update. We put this on here because at the time this was the main person saying I'm not flipping on my bros. I'm not acrobatic. Talking about PJ Tucker. When James Harden says Daryl Morey is a liar and I will never be part of an organization that he's a part of, it's come out that basically Daryl Morey said that we'll get you traded quickly. That didn't happen, and James was very unhappy about that. But what I wanted to say was it's been rumored that if Philly does not do something this year, Joel Embiid will request the trade. That's been rumored on multiple outlets.
I'm going to tell you right now, Philly is holding on by a thread. This thing could unravel at any moment. Any moment, this thing, and I mean, we're in the Eastern Conference, and we did not really have the offseason that I was hoping we were going to have. So, yeah, sometimes you just need some teams to be worse. And if we can...
Is there any culpability or ownership on Harden for this? All of this?
Okay, so I'm a 10-4 hatchet here. I think that Harden is lying about this part. I think that Morey promised him money and then did not pay him. But I think it's kind of illegal to have a handshake deal, and that will require him telling on himself. So he kind of backtracked himself out of it so that he does not look guilty. And I don't understand that, Kevin. For the life of me, cannot understand why there's no market for James Harden. James Harden led the NBA in assists last year.
So that was my question for you. If he did promise, let's say he did promise, I'm going to trade you fast, but there's no real market for it. Or there's like, you still have to get some type of return because you got to figure out how to keep Joel Embiid. So you still have to get some type of return. Why do you think you would be traded quickly? And now you're going to try to force your way out, which is kind of like James Harden's thing to do, is force your way out.
It's tricky, though, because every time he's forced his way out, that's been the right career move. I'm not staying in Houston. They were doing a rebuild. And at that point, my guy was gone because of the China tweet. So, yeah, I want out of Houston. Then he got over there, Brooklyn, and Kyrie wanted to do whatever he was doing and not come to work, and Kevin Durant was hurt. And he said, Kevin, either you make your guy come to work or I'm out of here. I don't think that he's been wrong. It's just an unfortunate stream of it.
Okay, whatever the reason, you could say he is wrong or right. That ain't got nothing to do with it. If you run an organization, this person has forced their way out 3 times and has burned those teams 3. Oh, no. I don't think if you ran a business, you would put yourself in that situation. I think that's why there's no market. Because
the other part about this is
because it's too much of a risk. You're giving up your future for a person that is, you don't know if he's all the way in or not.
Now, this is the thing. I think that Morey is going to be the guy who's out. You see PJ Tucker, he riding with James. I think that Embiid is riding with James, and I think that Tyrese Maxey has to have at least a level of cautious skepticism. Hey, how you going to play this?
I don't know if the owners can afford to allow that to happen. Because at this point, James Harden has basically said it's him or me. And that has never happened in the front office. That's always happened with the coach. Now, sometimes they'll go get a new GM because the coach might be married to the GM. But it's never been a player to a GM or a president in the front office, an executive, and be like, yo, you either got to go or I'm staying or I'm out. This is unprecedented. And you can't allow that to be established from an ownership or company head standpoint. You can't allow that.
But what has Morey done? Nothing.
That is inconsequential. You can't allow a player or somebody on the corporate ladder, right? That's when you think about the corporate ladder and the people that are the protocol that's in place. James Harden is down the list compared to where Daryl Morey is. And you have somebody that basically says, yo, it's either him or me in the front office. It's ugly. You set a precedent that I don't know if the NBA is willing to take. I don't know if they're willing to take that.
It's going to be interesting. And everybody else over there is too quiet. That's my thing. Y'all know y'all got smoke. Somebody need to speak up for somebody. And PJ Tucker putting that is him picking a side.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's
100%.
Interesting. That's surely something. That ain't nothing. That's something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you're Daryl Morey and PJ Tucker does this, are you keeping him around afterwards? Reggie?
Am I keeping Daryl Morey?
No, or PJ Tucker.
Am I keeping PJ Tucker?
Daryl Morey.
PJ Tucker doesn't play for them anymore, does he? He signed with somebody else.
No, he's a Sixer. Last time
he picked a side. You can't if you get rid of James. Well, James is already out of there.
Yes.
So you might as well keep him.
But PJ Tucker is still on the roster. So if you post this,
PJ Tucker's replaceable. And I don't mean to say that disrespectfully.
No, I'm asking you a question though. Are you trading him or are you? Because I think you're trading him.
PJ?
Mm-hmm.
He could be in the package with James. Yeah. I don't. Yes. Yeah.
Don't flip on your bros. You can with your bros.
Yeah, man.
Right on out of here.
Yeah, man.
Peace.
Buddy, pass that up, dog. We don't need that. No, PJ.
Buddy, pass.
I know, no shade, because PJ is one of those. He's one of those. He's one of those players that you need to have on a team. But I ain't about to lose sleep in trading them. Now that ain't, no. Now if Tyrese Maxey comes and says, well, I'm with James and y'all ain't signed me neither. Now I'm sweating a little bit. Because now I'm like, well, not even a little bit. I'm sweating a lot. I'm sweating right now. I'm sweating a lot if Maxey stands with him. Now I'm like, that's ugly. But PJ, no shade, bro. You got a lot of nice shoes. But you can go. It's a dirty game. It's a dirty game. I put this on here because just 2 weeks ago, we were talking about Dillon Brooks. He got a bad rap. He's still third team all defense NBA. Blase, blase, blah. We tried to shoot him some bail. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And then in the FIBA basketball exhibition, damn, PJ's 38 too? Yeah. In the exhibition. What?
You older than us? You older than me?
You handicap playing that out, bro. You out of there. We'll chair you right on to the gate.
Gather your thing. Get your sneakers.
But Dillon Brooks tried to injure Dennis Schroeder in the FIBA tune-ups. And I'm going to let y'all just watch this. So he's and it's hard to see, but I do think they zoom in eventually. And what happens is Dennis Schroeder takes a three, and Dillon Brooks is nowhere near and slaps his fingers, not his hand. Bow! Slaps his fingers. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This is my thought on this. This ain't the NBA. This FIBA. Dennis Schroeder did not react enough for me. Because if you tried to injure me, in FIBA, where I can't get fined, they can just say you can't play for your country. Fine, that's cool. We ain't winning no way. You should have knocked Dillon Brooks out on that one. No, you can't try to injure somebody in an exhibition game.
Dirty Dillon.
Well, there is some smoke there, though.
We want to support you, and then you come do this trash-ass move here. Like, there's no reason for this.
Pow.
And this is not even like Olympics basketball. This is FIBA. Like, no shot to FIBA, but this, you don't get a gold medal for this.
Now you don't get, and we were giving you benefit of the doubt. You don't get benefit of the doubt. Now I will say there is smoke here though, because he and Schroeder has, him and the Lakers had smoke, but him and Schroeder celebrating, hitting the three in front of the bench and pointing back and laughing and doing the celly and all that other stuff. So there's smoke there between those two. But Dillion, you in Houston now,
but that's
bro.
Weak. That's weak. Like, if you have smoke with me, have smoke with me. Don't try to hurt my finger. Like, it's just a loser move. I don't have no other way to put it. Like
it is a loser move, dog. That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah, like it's dirty. Like if you got smoke, put your hands on somebody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. AJ, you should have Chris Childs him real quick. Whatever. I ain't winning no real money. My money in the NBA.
Don't mess up your money, Schroeder.
What money? You already signed. He re-signed. He's good. They can't suspend him.
It's a suspension or something that comes with that. Like
not when you hit Dylan Brooks. They don't like Dylan Brooks either. They'll let you walk. We'll give you. You can suspend 1 quarter. You can't start the game. That's when you get them BS suspensions. You can't start the game.
Adam Silver got enough on his plate already. His Instagram, his Twitter's going crazy.
And then, so what's interesting? Finally, somebody decided to say, "Look, it ain't me. It's my man. It's my son, Chitty Bang Bang's father, T. Morant." Went out there and said, my son didn't get in trouble for the people around him. Now, if you know, while Ja Morant was going through all this, everybody said, who's around him? Who's looking after him? He's only 23. He's only 24. His father, his mother, why y'all got all these people around him? T says, he got in trouble for his decision. It could take over you and make you think who you're not. He said it could take over you and make you think something that you're not. I kind of get emotional. He was like, man, I just want you to make the right decision. And he was at a basketball camp. He was at the Up Next Elite basketball camp about his son. So he's going out speaking to these kids, telling them to learn from the mistakes of my son. That takes a lot of I have a lot of thoughts on this. It's
refreshing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I got to gather my thoughts. I have a lot of them though.
So for me, it's so many times, specifically in this AAU era basketball, I talk about another helicopter parent who's always around. It takes a lot to be transparent in this level of honesty. Like you could find a way to make excuses. You could definitely blame the people around him because in every situation he didn't put himself on camera. Sometimes he was on other people's lives. But at the end of the day, the responsibility that he put on his son is respectable. I appreciate it. He kept it real. I ain't blaming all them other people. It was you. You were there. They didn't make you do anything. You did it. And hopefully, Ja hears this. Hopefully I'm sure they've had this personal conversation and he understands. And I think he also understands T. Morant ain't a fool either. That if I come out and say this, it makes it look like we're taking this seriously. Because this is very well a space where many people's parents could make an excuse. And he chose not to. What do you think about this?
A few things. I agree it's refreshing. I do think it was a photo. I don't want to say photo op, but it was an opportunity to show that they taking this seriously. It's showing that the family is out to, because I would probably think Ja Morant will appear in some of these places too once the suspensions and everything dies down. But I also think that this was a way to kind of clear his name too now, because he is viewed. I'm not going to say what he is or what he isn't because we don't know. But he's viewed from what I've seen as the cool parent. He's cool with all the rappers and all the celebrities. He's the cool dad. So as the cool dad, you got that relationship with your son. You more buddy than father-son in the spotlight. So I can see how people are saying like, hey, man, you his father. Like you allowing, he's worth $200 million at 23 years old, 24 years old. Like you need to give him some guidance. Mother too, and everybody around him. But at the same, I
personally don't think he can absolve himself from much. At the end of the day, you're still responsible for your kid.
But I think that this was for him to say my son didn't get in trouble for the people around him. I think that absolves. I think he's talking about his friends as well as himself. I don't, or at least that's how I take it. Now he's correct about, your parents tell you all the time, hey, if all your friends jump off a bridge, you're going to jump off a bridge too. Nah, like, he's correct. You decided to make those decisions. You decided to still have guns when you didn't need them. You decided to do all of these things. And at this point in your life, you've grown up seeing what dumb decisions can do to other athletes. I mean, Michael Vick was our favorite athlete. He didn't necessarily make, well, I ain't going to say, he did make a dumb decision, but he also didn't cover his tracks. You got a CYA. And what he's saying here, T. Miranda's saying to Giles, like, you not CYA-ing, my guy. You out here just out here wilding, thinking that I got all this money, I can do whatever.
Like, hey, son,
Mm-hmm.
I know you're gonna do what you're gonna do. And that's the conversation all of our hopefully all of our parents have had with us.
Good point.
You're
one of
grown
our
up.
viewers.
You're gonna do whatever you want to do. You know that's what they say. You're a grown man, son. Do whatever you want to, but be responsible, and don't look crazy. And don't have me looking crazy. Honestly.
And then finally, I do agree, Nessa, that one of our viewers said in the comments that they're glad that he's publicly making him accountable. And I empathize with the emotion, because you've poured a lot into allowing your son to achieve his dream, right? You've sacrificed a lot, you've done a lot, and you've finally seen your child set out to do something that they wanted to do. It's like you have a child that has a lifetime achievement goal. I want to do this. And they dedicate their life to it, and they get to it, and then they're about to mess it up because of bad decisions once they get the reward of getting to that goal. That's hard.
And literally all you have to do is not throw the money away. The money is guaranteed. Unless you physically give it back, it's yours. That is the important part. They can't get the money back. They promised it to you.
They can
but the only way they can the only way that they can get that money back is if you take it out of your pocket and hand it to them. You could be terrible. Look at Ben Simmons.
But moving on, man. Shout out to T. Morant. A classy move, man. Hopefully it gets through the jaw as well. Let's talk about the Hawks before we move on to football, man. Real quick. The College Park SkyHawks have hired a new general manager in Daniel Starkham, as well as a new head coach in Ryan Schmidt. They will be the new general manager and head coach of the College Park SkyHawks. SkyHawks have a really good G League team. We develop players and then we trade them. So, shout out to the SkyHawks.
Yeah, they'll be dominant next year, and then none of them will actually ever play for the Atlanta Hawks. That's where second-round picks go to die.
But hopefully, apparently, Daniel Starkman is really well respected, and the thing is, when you're that good, being in the corporate America landscape, you kind of see that he is kind of being groomed to be something larger. He's gonna go on to the NBA or WNBA. You know, I didn't even think about this with the G League, WNBA, and NBA. There's kind of a pipeline for them to move up corporately.
And at this point, right now, you're with the person who, you know, you're attached to Quinn Snyder. He's the guy that everybody loves. He's the hot pick that everybody thinks is one of the best coaches in the NBA.
Oh, because he's the Hawks coach.
Correct. So, you know, this gives you, number one, a direct pipeline to that guy into, you know, many of his assets. And at the same time, if they have, you know, success, it's going to look good for you. So, yeah, definitely an opportunity.
Great opportunity. Great opportunity.
See what he makes of it.
Yeah, man. So, shout out to the SkyHawks. Hawks opening night against the New York Knicks. I hope we beat them by 100. I want to beat the Knicks so bad in game one that it starts a new controversy for 2023-2024.
I mean, they're going to be the favorite. At this point, I think that majority of the NBA believes that the Knicks are better than the Hawks.
Yeah, I would think so. We haven't added enough in the off season. We really haven't added nothing.
We subtracted. That's what we've been doing. We've been around there subtracting.
Yeah, we traded John for a second round pick or something like that. But we did addition by keeping. We kept DeJounte Murray at an affordable contract. which is fantastic. He pulled an Alex Anthopoulos. Didn't see that coming. But opening night, Hawks versus Knicks, man. I'm excited. Hopefully we can beat them. I don't know what's happening in the offseason with Pascal Siakam or whoever else they're going after at the 4. They look like they may roll with what they have at the beginning and make some moves at the trade deadline. I don't think that'll work because I think that the relationship with DeAndre Hunter is fractured. I think he's ready to go. But we shall see. Since being drafted in 2018, Trae Young is first in assists, first in 10 assist games, first in 30-point 10 assist games, first in assists per game, first in points and assists, third in point. That's a misleading graphic stat muse. Third in points, third in free throws, fourth in 25-point games. So he's first. He's not first in points, separate assists. He's a first in points and assists combined. That's what that stat means. But, I mean, he is, offensively, he is gifted. Defensively, it's difficult. He's starting to get the James Harden. Actually, not even starting. He's got the James Harden. Reputation. He's starting to get that now, especially about not playing defense.
I'm going to check all of my opinions for probably at least the first lap of the season, maybe the first half of the season. They finally moved John Collins after 4 years. I assume that this is the team that they would like to, go with for the foreseeable future. If you look back, we gave Kevin Huerter away for basically nothing. We gave John away for basically nothing. It looks like we're going to go down the road of possibly giving away Clint Capella for basically nothing. If we don't trade him this season, then there's no way that anybody's going to pay anything for him. We would have to give him away too.
You talking about Clint Capella? I see a Clint Capella move would be if you're going to do it, you might as well go get Ayton. Because that relieves them of cap space. We would have the space. You'd probably have to move Hunter, but you would have the space to absorb that. I don't know if Ayton's available
for us right now. I would assume not.
Not the way that they playing, right?
And on top of that, Ayton is expensive. Ayton puts us into the cap.
Not if you trade Capella and Hunter. Yeah.
And if you trade Ayton for Capella and Hunter, yeah. That is surely going to be something. You might be handing a championship to the Phoenix Suns. I think there's a high likelihood that you would be handing them. But that wouldn't work because you're going to put Hunter on the bench.
You'd have to trade Hunter. Oh, you could trade him somewhere else. You can trade him somewhere else. It could be a 3-team trade.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Capella and money back to buy another player? Oh, man.
If they're going to trade Capella, they, like you said, they got to do it now. You got to do it now.
The time is counting down, and they haven't really looked to make any moves other than that Pascal Siakam move. And I'm going to just say that Pascal Siakam move, it doesn't track for me. There's no way that it makes sense.
Oh, I missed
because he's made it very clear that he does not want to sign in Atlanta. And basically that means it just be a 1-year rental and try to coax him into coming to Atlanta.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Anyway, well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the basketball segment. I told y'all we had a few things to talk about. It is now 1 week away from football season. Got a few things we're going to talk about. Apparently, high school football in Texas is crazy. Travis Hunter and Dion out there in the Pac-12 country doing well. And then we got some NFL news to talk about as well. Y'all stay tuned. Give us about 2 minutes. We'll be right back.
She want all the inches up on. Jump in the coochie and flow. Jump in the coochie and flow. Shit, where this fuck I need a boat. Wanna see how low you
and if I can handle it, won't be second guessing. Need a boat, now I just swim in it. Dark while we undressing, wanna see, let's get a candlelit. Moonlight ain't enough, I like it rough, hope that's unanimous. Friction, cannabis, fix all my fantasies. Girl, all my dreams, wanna see all my fantasies. I wanna see if you read, can you answer this? What's it gonna take for you to answer this? Wanna see how low you get, wanna see how low you get. Overseas, she dripping wet over me. Guess what we did next? Baby, shine like glitter, give the words deliver. Better get your chick, once I Mac, I get her. That's my shawty, that's my bestie, and we get messy. Love the way she speak, I love the way that she address me.
Here's what they say, got a little extra, but she still on her back with her legs.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our final segment of episode 117 of the Splash Cast, the Around the League edition Monday Night Raw, our football segment. Got a few things we're going to talk about today. Got to start out with some high school, then go to college, then go to pro. Before we start out with high school, man, I got to give a shout out to Colquitt County versus Langston Hughes High Schools, matchup of nationally ranked schools. In Atlanta, Metro Atlanta area. I think I'm sorry, not Coco County, Carrollton High School in Carrollton, Georgia. They played against each other. Langston Hughes, as you know, is a black school. It is a newer school that is built not too far away from where I stay, right next to handle all the overflow kids from Westlake High School, the great Westlake High School. Langston Hughes went undefeated, won the state championship last year. They are churning out. They are starting to become a football powerhouse immediately, and they play Colquitt County, who has the number one quarterback in high school football for the class of 2026. He actually led the team. They beat them in the state semifinals last year. So great game, 39-34 goal line stand. With that being said, with all those people that were there, go ahead.
Before we get there, another quick thing. Your boy Dylan Raiola, Georgia commit, correct?
Yes.
They beat St. Francis from Maryland 18-0 last Friday. Shut them out. And then after the game, they tried to fight, but that was a big game for Buford. And that's a hell of a start for a kid who's supposed to be the next starting quarterback for Georgia. He looked damn good.
He was like 6 of 7. Or 7 of 12 for 3 touchdowns and 300 some yards. like, what are we talking about here?
Against one of the best teams in the country. It's not like you beat a slouch or something. No, you beat a team that I think thought that they were gonna win, and they whooped them.
They don't know about Buford. Buford is nationally ranked. They are nasty.
They're top 5 now too.
But with that being said, with Buford and all of them, Atlanta, and especially North Atlanta, is starting to get these college campus like high schools, but not like Texas. Melissa High School in Texas has built a new 10,000 seat, $35 million football complex. They say stadium, but it's not just a stadium. It also has a press box as well as multiple weight rooms and everything on the outside as well. This is crazy.
I can't for the life of me understand how Texas has. I grew up where you have a varsity team, a JV team, and then just maybe, if you got enough kids, you have a 9th grade team. Texas, you have 9th grade 1, 9th grade 2, JV 1, JV 2, varsity 1, varsity 2. At 10,000 seats, a $35 million football stadium.
That's just a bunch of alumni and parents.
Don't have that.
That's that. The thing is, the press box. You see that press box? It has a lounge. They're gonna be serving liquor, Like they got all of that. They got their liquor license. They got a bar. Like they got all that stuff in the lounge. That's insane. And woo.
Now I'm gonna tell you, you gotta win some football games.
I'm about to say you got to perform though.
You got to. We did not spend $35 million for you to come out here looking like ass now. You got to win or you'll be fired. It's the only two options we have.
Colquitt County here at Georgia.
Long discussion about what your expectations are. You have a $35 million expectation.
Colquitt County here at Georgia, they spent $10 million and got an indoor practice facility and did not win state for 2 years, and they fired that coach. They fired him, and they were winning. Like, it's not like they were losing. They were winning. And they fired him because they said we put too much money in here to not win state now.
I would not really love this. It don't take a $35 million football stadium to win games. It's so many teams that have played well without this. It can only do more harm than good.
It doesn't take $35 million to win games, but it does take a stadium. We are 11 days out from the kickoff, and Vanderbilt Stadium looks like this. For those that can't see, I am going to see if I can enlarge the photo so that y'all can see what we see. There is
nothing.
There is no scoreboard on either side.
Ain't y'all engineers? Y'all supposed to have this already.
I'm zooming. I'm gonna move the picture up and down so that y'all can see that there's no scoreboard on either side of the field. No scoreboard, y'all.
Super incomplete.
From the life of a contractor, I know that they
Vanderbilt football will play in First Bank Stadium amid construction in 2023. What fans need to know. It won't be done. It will not be done. That was 5 days ago. They're left with 6 days. Will not be complete.
How y'all? Yeah. And the thing is, I looked. There's no other like clippings of like them talking about playing in another stadium until like the end of the last month. If you try to go back to June, they was like, the stadium's under construction. Cause I was like, they had to know they wasn't gonna make it. Cause there's no way a construction company can be this bad to where they got nothing. They got nothing. Ain't nothing there.
That is the funny part about our personal jobs in doing this. Is eventually y'all got to have a sit down meeting where hey, go get done by the time we expect it. Let me tell y'all that. Y'all want the good news or the bad news? The good news is we're gonna have a plan, but this is gonna look bad. And
somebody said it don't matter. They don't have that many fans there anyway. They actually have a good turnout in Vanderbilt, though. They actually go to the game.
Yeah. Hey, y'all need to be like
Dillion,
Tennessee State. Hey, man, can we get that stadium on the other day? Something. Y'all have to play on Fridays or something.
Tennessee State said we gonna play at the Titan Stadium on Tuesdays and Thursdays now.
Y'all have to play the JV schedule.
Dion in Colorado out there in Pac-12. So everybody was questioning Travis Hunter after he went to Jackson State and saying that he wouldn't get the level of competition. Then they questioned him when he went to Colorado, and they said, I don't know. It's going to be different. He may not this, that, and the third. He's been doubted. We are here to tell y'all he's the one in the blue jersey. We are here to tell y'all he is him. Travis Hunter is a beast. Now, I don't know how good this receiver is because he just got bodied out of the play.
He got eased right on out of there. So I do have some questions about Travis Hunter. He don't look
big.
I guess he's a corner.
He's a corner and receiver.
6'1", 185. I guess that's reasonable for a corner. He just
sophomore
don't look that.
He got to gain some weight.
To me.
He got to get. He got to get on the. He got to get on. He got to. He's got to add about 20 pounds of muscle before he get to the league. But
I just feel like he got the rawest of deal. Like if I was gonna play at Colorado, he should just played at Alabama or Georgia. I could have played for a national championship.
Yeah,
like
but he wouldn't be able to play both sides of the ball though. Like they gonna let him. He gonna be able to do whatever he want over there at Colorado.
Yeah, but also he's not gonna play for a national championship ever.
That ain't the motive. The motive is Louis and NFL. That is the motive. You know that's the motive.
Louis
Vuitton. NIL. That is the motive. But he's cooking though.
I mean, I'm interested to see. I definitely want to see him flourish, but yeah, I definitely think he looks slim to me.
He's 185. But I think he's going to get a lot of national recognition because he's going to play both sides of the ball. And it looks like because Colorado lost their number one receiver. So it looks like he's the number one receiver and the number one cornerback, and he's going to return kicks. He's basically going to try to be Deion. And that's what they're going to try to make him out to be. And Deion is personally invested in him. So I think he's actually going to flourish. Now, it may not lead to a national championship, but it may lead to the Biletnikoff? It may lead to that.
No, that's the receiver. He ain't going to win the Biletnikoff.
Well, you never know. He might win something.
Oh, he ain't gonna be the number one wide receiver in the NFL. Not as long as that boy's in Ohio State. Not a chance.
Oh yeah. NCAA, Marvin Harrison Jr. You're right. Interesting though. Colorado plays USC this year. Shiloh Sanders will line up against Brendan Rice. That is Jerry Rice's youngest son, and Deion Sanders' oldest son will line up against each other. Or could line up against each other. Now, more than likely, Shiloh plays safety, so he won't be actually guarding him. But Jerry Rice's son, man, is pretty good. This is letting us know that we old as hell, like you said.
And Travis need whatever Brendan got. Brendan look like a man. Let me tell you that much.
Hey man, it's a reason USC is USC and Colorado's Colorado. Yep. They just not getting a facility.
Shador looks slim too. Yeah.
Nah, Shador ain't. Oh, you talking about that Shador? I thought you talking about the quarterback. How about now? He didn't gain weight. Shiloh, they putting him in the league. They ain't even started no campaign yet.
Colorado is gonna have a very interesting season.
I think if they win,
you're right. Devontae Smith was he's still skinny bone.
Yeah,
his footwork is impeccable,
and he's fast.
I saw him on the ladder, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's what it's supposed to look like. That's what they be training you for it to look like right there."
No, yeah, the rhythm with I was like, "Woo!" Yeah,
that's some of the best ladder work I've ever seen out of any receiver ever in life, in existence.
It's a reason he got 1,000. He's gonna be nasty again this year. I said that Colorado needs to go ahead and launch their Shador for Heisman campaign because there's no reason that Bo Nix, who should have a New York City a campaign poster on the side of a building for the Heisman. Bro, you're not even the best quarterback in the Pac-12 or Pac-4 or Pac whatever.
Bo Nix. We don't care. You're wasting money. You're wasting that money. First of all, you giving people work. Somebody had to get on that side of that building and put the damn sign up for no reason. Bo, let me tell you this. I want you to hear me real good on the Splashcast. Also, remember, like, follow, subscribe. You ain't gonna win the Heisman, bro. You don't stand a chance. I can name easily 10 people who are better than you. We saw you in Auburn. Not
10.
impressive.
10 people? 10 quarterbacks better than Bo? I can name 3 in the Pac-4. Whatever they are. The Pac-5? What are they?
Yeah.
I can name 3. I can name 3 in the Pac-12 right now. Right now, I can name DJ Uiagalelei. I can name the Caleb Williams, Penix, Shedeur Sanders. That's 4. We ain't even made it off the West Coast.
Cam Rising, the quarterback from Utah.
Cam Rising. Yeah. That's 5. So you think you got to be in the top 3 and get to the finals. You ain't even in the top 5 quarterbacks in your conference. That's dissolving. I hate to say it, Bo, but you ain't it.
Not bodacious bullshit.
This is awful, Bo. And now, shout out to Auburn. You always said you wanted to see people invest in their athletes. You said NFL, NBA is dropping the ball, supporting their athletes. Other schools drop the ball, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know why Oregon decided to hang their hat on Bo Nix.
You might as well don't even have a hat rack if you got to hang it on Bo Nix.
Yeah, I would wait. I would wait until we go to the Big Ten or wherever aren't they going to the Big Ten next year?
Go somewhere. Go do something else. Bo Nix is not. And anybody who thinks that Bo Nix is the answer, you should be fired too.
Hey man, he'll be a good high school coach and college offensive coordinator.
Yeah, just stay in Oregon.
Let's move on to let's move on to NFL real quick. Well, not real quick, but power rankings have been released. Not a lot of surprises. Kansas City number 1, Philly number 2, Cincinnati number 3, San Francisco number 4. I believe those were the final 4 teams last year. Buffalo, Miami, Dallas, Baltimore, the Chargers at 9, and Detroit at 10 is surprising to me.
So, let's see here. Kansas City Chiefs, correct. Best team in baseball. Looks like they're going to have probably the best quarterback of all time. Philadelphia Eagles.
Got better.
I'm hesitant. Jalen Hurts has a lot of pressure. A ton of pressure. Now, I think that the addition of Jalen Carter and the rest of the University of Georgia defense helps, but a season after they've seen you should be interesting. For them to have time to game plan about what you can do well and not do well, I think this is where I feel like I will have a better understanding of who Jalen Hurts is. Last year, I mean, we've kind of seen Dak do the same thing where he had that season where nobody thought he was going to be good, and then he actually played good. And then after that, it kind of had a step back towards reality. I'm not a hater, because anytime that you want to see more of a player, they call you a hater. I'm a skeptic, though. I'm interested to see what Jalen Hurts can do. I hate that I have to tell people that. Hey,
I'm not pessimistic. I'm a realist. You're one of those guys.
No, I just think that there's an advantage of people not having tape on you.
So I think that Jalen Hurts is in a position that he's been in on the football field for the past 5 years.
He's uniquely qualified for this.
The same argument you can make for Philly that they've put everything around him and the pressures on him to deliver is the same thing he had to do at Alabama. It's the same. It's the exact same thing. So
that is the one thing that I do think that he has that a lot of quarterbacks don't have is he has the mental grit and capability to be unshaken by things. And I think ultimately that is probably what helps him get over the hump. I want to see him do well, but it's tough to be good that second year, man. That second time is where I feel like most of the quarterbacks kind of either make or break for me.
But I don't think he has to be that. He doesn't have to be like, he's not viewed, or the way that Philly seems to view him, doesn't view him as the franchise saving quarterback. They view him as a franchise quarterback. They don't view him as we can put the game on his shoulders and he could throw us down the field. I think that they put a team around him that they don't have to. He doesn't have to throw him down the field. He can run the ball.
How much money did they pay him?
$100-something million.
Okay. Is he the highest paid quarterback in the NFL?
No.
And well, he might top be. 3?
Yeah, he's up there.
I think he's number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's in.
But that's you have to pay him. You have to pay him.
If you pay him, then the expectation comes with it, whether they say it or not.
Yeah, but I don't think the expectation is different to me because again, he a lot of the stuff he signed. Let's be honest. If we're gonna be honest, let's talk. This is no hate, no nothing. He's not signed for his arm. He signed for his legs, his decision making, and his intangibles, his leadership skills. That's why he gets the best out of that team. He's not signed to be. So I agree that he is the franchise quarterback, but I think they know what they got in him. They can use him correctly. I don't think that he's the franchise saving quarterback because it didn't need to be saved. They just need somebody that don't do stupid stuff.
That's true. And ask the Cowboys. That is immensely valuable. Just don't give the ball to the other team.
So, we talked about, I didn't mean to stay on that topic with just Philly, but all of that is very interesting. But I can't see Detroit at number 10. I can't see that at all. Explain it to me because my left and right is blind.
Now, this is the thing. If you look at Detroit over the second half of last season, they're probably one of the top 5 best teams in football. I know that's only a half a season. You don't get anything for winning a half a season.
I don't care.
But the way that they were looking, they looked like they had kind of got it together. Second part, I don't know if you've seen it, but Jahmyr Gibbs is out there cooking. He looks very legit, and they have what you need most. They got Aiden Hutchinson and a strong defensive line, and they have Penei Sewell and a strong offensive line. And I feel like they've kind of built that team to start moving into the competitive levels
of the division.
And I think that they should beat that division. I don't think that the Packers and Jordan Love are prepared. I think that Minnesota is trying to find a way. I think that they're going to clear the house and build that team around Justin Jefferson. So I think that they're not trending upwards. I think that they're either going to stay the same or take a drop. The Bears, will they ever have an offensive line? I mean, will they ever have an offense? Excuse me. So I think that I think the Lions are prepped they have a good team. They have a good coach. And I think that they could, and they look good. That's the thing. What you need for a team, and they look good. My question is more the Chargers. I don't trust them at 9. Cowboys. I don't think that.
I mean, I don't think Micah Parsons makes them. He makes their defense a top 10 defense by himself. So they're gonna put them up there because they got CeeDee Lamb. They just don't know having a running back. But
Miami, I do not think that Miami is the number 6 team in the NFL. And especially after we just saw the Atlanta Falcons and them play and them not look like world beaters against a team that most people think is probably 25th or worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, it's preseason. They ain't playing neither team plays starters. But what I will say, and we'll move on from this because we got a bunch of stuff to talk about. I don't believe in Detroit being number 10 with all these divisions. I mean, even if Detroit wins their division, I think the division would have to have a down year for them to win it. Meaning, I think that, of course, they have to prove it to me to say that. I don't think that they're in the top 2 of the. I think Minnesota, I think Green Bay could give Detroit a run for their money. I do. So, and then
who does Green Bay have on their offense?
Nobody that we know of. Jordan Love, they got the running backs, and they actually got a bunch of young players, really, but they got a good defense though, and I don't believe in the Chargers. I'm sorry, I don't. They had all them receivers, and they doubled down on receiver again instead of getting anything else. Like I don't believe in you. You just had to pay, what's his name? Didn't they? Didn't they just pay what's his name?
Yeah.
Herbert. And you had to pay him, but I mean,
and it's just the AFC West. You got your hands full. Like, it's already a tough way to go. I don't think that they're headed like.
Why is it a tough way to go? You got the Raiders. We don't believe in them. The Broncos. I gotta show me because
they're gonna be
then
better.
Then you got Kansas City. was better. I mean, so they go from 5-11 to 7-9. I mean, whatever. And then you got the Chiefs. So it's the Chiefs and everybody else. I mean,
welcome to the NFL.
We were talking about the AFC West being the best division in football.
Oh boy,
to now being like the NFC North. Like,
and let me tell you why. This schedule is not good. They play Miami first, which is gonna be a dogfight.
Who?
They play Tennessee
Chargers?
second. Yeah, it's gonna be a dogfight. They play Minnesota third.
Why is it gonna be a dogfight in Tennessee?
Oh, because they got Hopkins and yeah. I think that Hopkins and Derrick Henry gonna make it difficult for anybody. It ain't gonna be no walk.
I forgot about Hopkins.
Yeah. Minnesota, Raiders, Cowboys. That's gonna be a tough one. Chiefs, that's gonna be a tough one. Bears, didn't they play the Jets? Jesus, didn't they play the Lions? Packers, they should win. Didn't they get the Ravens? Patriots, Broncos, the Raiders again, then Buffalo, Broncos, and then the Chiefs again. Man, hell, they might be lucky to be 500.
They're the number 9 ranked team in power rankings. I don't believe it, man. They're gonna have to show me, dog.
They look real close to 500 to me.
Are we gonna talk about these QBs by age? We are officially, our generation of QBs is beyond us now. There is no more.
Well, not even that. It's just interesting that, like Aaron Rodgers, but then you got to look. Matt Stafford, hey, your time is up. Tannehill, your time is up. Kirk Cousins, your time is up. Russell Wilson, your time is up. Geno, what's the chances you have a season that good again? Derek Carr, your time is up. Jimmy G, your time been up. Dak, they finna tap you next.
Well, then what I'm saying is, we grew up with the Aaron Rodgers. Like, Matt Stafford.
Oh, yeah.
Really, the last for our generation is the 34s, the Russell Wilsons. After that, you know, these dudes, especially the 24s, the Jordan Loves, the Justin Fields, all these dudes.
Well, it don't help that all the 30s are kind of mid. Geno been mid the majority of his career. Derek Carr been mid the majority of his career. Jimmy G would be lucky to be mid. Dak Prescott, middy. Jared Goff, underperformed. Watson was missing for a bunch of years. Everybody hates Baker, Mahomes, and Josh Allen. And then now that 26, you got
Burrow, Jackson,
Daniel Jones, and Kyler Murray, tricky. It's a lot of
mid.
I've been saying this, and I keep saying this. They're not making as many good quarterbacks as they used to.
But that money, they still getting paid though.
It's too, like, at every level, like even college football, it's not a ton of really good quarterbacks. And then you get here, you look at that list, and you like, how many of these guys do you really say I want to have on my team? I think it's 4, 5 that I really like. You know what? I want that guy, and I think that's.
What do you mean? I want that guy?
Of guys who I think are legitimate. Like, if given the opportunity, I would love to have that guy on my team. And that's Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, maybe Justin Herbert.
You talking about just of the young guys? You wouldn't want
everybody
Aaron
on
Rodgers,
that list.
Deshaun Watson. I think Deshaun Watson has to have a redemption year because before all of that scandal, he was on the list easily.
Let me ask you a question though. Right now, at what Deshaun Watson costs, are you sure you want to pay that next year?
Next year, I don't know. Not next year, but
you're not confident in that. You're hoping.
No,
you're not confident.
No. But if you look at that list, everybody else on that list that's younger, 25 and younger, haven't really had a chance to prove themselves except for like Mac Jones and Tua. You want Jalen Hurts on your team, I would assume. Jalen Hurts is like the better version of Tebow. And then you have like Jordan Love, Justin Fields. None of them. Justin Fields ain't had no team. Jordan Love was captive by Aaron Rodgers. Desmond Ridder hasn't has played 4 games. Trevor Lawrence actually has had a better resume by beating Justin Herbert in the playoffs. Brock Purdy? Shout out to Trey Lance. Damn, homie. It's ugly. You need to go to Miami. Sam Howell, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. None of these guys have had a chance to prove themselves. The only people that have a chance are 26 to 27.
I would love to have. Everybody else is like, we got some variation of the same guy.
That's the NFL maddening you. Because, I mean, there's always only going to be 5. You basically named the 5 best quarterbacks in the league. You just named the 5 best quarterbacks in the league. It said those are the 5 that I want. Yeah, everybody want that 5. What you mean?
But what I'm saying is, I feel like in the past there have been more quarterbacks like towards the middle that I would be interested in having.
I think that you are skilled. If you think that none of these guys are in the middle are decent, I just think they haven't had the middle. There's such a big gap in experience from the elite to the. There is no middle class because everybody else is either older. The middle class is old. There you go. That was your point. The mid is old. Don't nobody want them. So you got to roll your dice with the young ones or have the greats.
That cluster up there of Matt Stafford, Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Geno Smith, Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, Dak Prescott, even Jared Goff, Deshaun Watson, and Baker Mayfield. You're like, maybe I want them, but definitely nothing where I'm like, I got to have that guy. Now, if Watson can get back to who he was, then sure, you put him at the top of the list. But outside of that, you're like, we just tried another one. Roll the dice again.
Yeah. Moving on, man. Moving on. Dan Snyder has finally finished selling the Washington football franchise. He paid $800 million for it. Got caught doing a whole bunch of stuff, cheating, lying, stealing. Everything, and made $5.7 billion in profit. He owned the team for 24 years. Had a .427 winning percentage. Had 4 investigations, 3 federal investigations, 2 NFL investigations, 3 team names, 2 All-Pros, and 27 starting QBs with 10 coaches and only 6 playoff berths. 4 division titles. That is a terrible resume. I want to hit a couple things here.
So you have the federal investigations, House Committee, DEA, and Department of Justice. Then he had NFL investigations by Bill Wilkinson and Mary Jo White. And then he also had Attorney General investigations by D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. Hit the whole DMV.
I mean,
27 quarterbacks in 24 years is definitely not a thing. Ask the Green Bay Packers. Also, he's only had 2 All-Pros in that entire time. And a winning percentage of 420. You can't even win half of the games. This is embarrassing.
His winning percentage is a batting average.
You don't actually have to be good in the NFL to be a good owner, because making $5 billion in this being the result is embarrassing.
Well, you're not looking at it. It's apparent. It's apparent Daniel Snyder didn't look at this about winning. This was about a business making money.
It depends on what you consider winning. He was playing a different game.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about winning on the football field. Wins. He didn't care about. I mean, look at his record. He didn't care about that. Or I'm gonna say he didn't focus on that. He focused on maximizing the profit in return. And I mean, he did. He did. He got what? It's almost 1,000% return. That's like 700%.
Another reason
return.
I put this here is because there is a guy who I think is ready to take up the mantle. And it's
as a what? What's the mantle?
Of the new Dan Snyder. I think the Jim Irsay is doing everything he possibly can to be the new.
I hate Jim Irsay.
He wants that title so bad. I've never it's like he actively is seeking to be that guy. Like, hey, how can I be the worst owner in NFL, like in the NFL and possibly in sports? And consistently for the last 2 years, he's made every mistake that he can. Is there a point where Roger Goodell has to tap him on the shoulder and say, you got to chill out?
No, because he pays Roger Goodell's salary. You can't tap your boss on.
Yeah,
what you mean?
I don't know the answer. he's out of pocket though. What you want to talk about next? The Cowboys taking flight, the Ravens quarterback.
No, let's take it organizations. We'll come back to the Cowboys taking flight. The Ravens are the first team in NFL history having all black QB unit with all black quarterbacks coaches. Ozzie, I mean, they got it right with Ozzie, and he has created that culture there from the get-go by drafting Jonathan Ogden and Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and starting that whole movement of I don't want to call it black empowerment. I'll call it inclusivity. Like they don't have a certain number of certain type of candidates that they have to meet. They don't have a quota. They just interview. And they keep getting these guys that mesh well with the team, mesh well with the players, and mesh well with the organizations. And they are one of the best run organizations in sports. So shout out to the Ravens, man. Shout out to the Ravens.
And think about how far we've come from like where black athletes were consistently, oh no, you're not a quarterback, you're a wide receiver. Warren Moon having to play in the CFL for all those years and be dominant before he got a chance. To now, like, you know, I make this comment jokingly, but I mean it. I understand why y'all did not let black people play quarterback.
Because you knew it was coming.
This is the reason. This 100% is the reason. Is that if you gave them an opportunity, they would take over the room. And they have literally owned the room now.
Yeah.
And never giving it back.
It's never going back. It's never,
and the crazy
ever
part
going
is
back.
they're both Pro Bowlers. You starting quarterback and your backup quarterback Pro Bowlers and black.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm not gonna rain on that parade. You're right. Pro Bowl ain't what it used to be.
No, you can rain on the parade. Hell, he's still better than a lot of quarterbacks. We just went down the list of guys who's starting. You can throw him right in there. He'd be right in there with the rest of them.
I don't know if I agree with that either. But shout out to the Ravens.
You want him or Baker? Oh, all right, then. You want him or Jimmy? Okay, then. So, yeah, once you start looking at it.
Tell me he better.
He ain't. You think he's worse?
Toss
about
up.
The same, right? You
Toss
think
up.
that he. So, okay. So, it's Huntley, right? You think that he's about as good as, I would say, at least 4 or 5 of those guys on the starting list. And we're not talking about my boy, too. What's his name? Who's the black backup quarterback everywhere. That's his job.
Josh Johnson.
Played in Florida. No.
Jacoby Brissett.
That's him. Yeah, like those guys, I like that. Like that's where my tiering for quarterback kind of ends. Like, yeah, the guys towards the bottom half, like the Baker Mayfields of the world. Yeah, I feel like those other guys are right there.
Don't forget, you
Baker just happens to get the start.
You said he was a starting quarterback. Based off
I knew
talent.
he was gonna get a chance.
No, that's not. Never gonna let you let that down. Hey man, this is some wild stuff you see in preseason. So in preseason, players kind of get to do what they want. So Brandon Cooks, who is a licensed pilot, took Micah Parsons and Stephon Gilmore in his flight over in his plane in a flight over Seattle before the game. That's pretty dope. Now, I'd be terrified if I were, team owner. That's your franchise player.
Yo, I'm that's that. I did not think about this originally, but then I thought about it a little bit more, and I think about I'm not even gonna speak about all the different situations that have happened with planes, but then I did think like Jerry had to be sweating bullets. And hey, I'm happy that you are, a pilot. That was my first thought was I'm happy to see that, these guys have interests outside of football, specifically this. Like, you're a pilot. You can go fly planes for the rest of your life.
Shout out to Jared. Miles Jack just retired. He came back and signed with the Eagles and was going to play. He's like, I actually just want to go work. I've made enough money. And he's going to go build houses and stuff. I mean, it happens. You got to have something outside of football to define yourself.
I love that empowerment. I don't have to do this every day. I don't have to risk my life. I have interests outside of here. I have enough money that I can do whatever I want to. So I like that part, but I'm also like, hey, man, you better get Michael Parsons back on the damn ground, buddy.
That's Stephon. That's your number 2 receiver. Your number,
you need to put my money on the ground. The people, they pay people. You are a football player first, a pilot, maybe second or third.
Yeah, and then you got your number 2 corner in Stephon Gilmore, your number 2 receiver in Brandon Cooks, and your number 1 player. Yeah, it's tough, man. Speaking of receivers, Ryan Clark, who is a Pittsburgh Steelers former player, I think he played the majority of his season there in Washington.
Yes, correct.
He left Washington after his best friend Sean Taylor was killed. George Pickens, he says George Pickens is much more talented than Justin Jefferson.
What I assume that he means by this is like he has physical gifts. He's bigger, faster, stronger.
Natural ability. He has more natural ability. I think that's how you should have worded
it. Talented is Justin Jefferson is a generational talent. He's on pace to be in the same conversation as the guys who are the guys. Based for all intents and purposes, him and what's the boy in Cincinnati?
Jamar Chase.
They're basically going to be, I think, the T.O. and and Randy Moss of this era. Like that's where I think that they're going to end up falling.
Yeah, I think Justin Jefferson is more skilled. I think he's a better route runner. He has a better feel for the game. You could tell that he's had more development as a wide receiver. But I don't know if this is such a bad take that George Pickens is more talented.
Yeah,
George Pickens is a
natural physical gifts. He's
monster.
He is scary.
He's making Kenny Pickett. They picking Kenny Pickett to be like the dark horse for most improved player and all this other stuff because of George Pickens, who's making all these amazing catches.
It's a sham. And what's going to happen is, I'm telling you what's going to happen in Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett is not going to be able to get Pickens the ball consistently, and he's going to be like me or him. And I think it's probably going to have to be Pickens, unfortunately.
But they've got a receiving core out there in Pittsburgh, and the difference is you can't double team George the way you can double team Justin.
That's true, especially with Dillion gone.
Pittsburgh Steelers
and Dalvin gone.
Pittsburgh Steelers have everything. They have 2 other wide receivers. They have a quarterback. They have Najee Harris at running back. They have good tight ends. They have a defense they're always going to have a decent defense.
Correct.
George Pickens may feast in this if Pickett can get him the ball. So I think more than Jalen Hurts having a lot of pressure, I think Kenny Pickett got a lot of pressure. Because and
I don't think that he's
with
cut out for it.
Not with George doing what he's doing.
I don't think that he's cut out for it. I think that I don't believe in Pickett at all. I think that this ends bad because you're right. Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, Allen Robinson, Pat Freiermuth, and Najee Harris, and they're gonna say, "Hey, man, you're not getting it done." And one thing about Pickens is he's vocal.
He's gonna let you know.
And I don't think that Pickens' inadequacies. Pickett's inadequacies and Pickens' temper are gonna work very well together.
So, close this out. You think he is more? I think he's more talented than Justin Jefferson. I don't think this is wrong. I think Justin Jefferson is the better receiver right now. If Pickens can,
I don't like the way that he worded this.
If Pickens can get the skill level that Justin Jefferson has, then y'all better look out. The league better be insane.
Correct.
But
I don't think he can get there.
I ain't gonna say he can't. But hey, so we've talked about all these rookies. We've talked about Bijan. We've talked about not even George Pickens' second year. We've talked about C.J. Stroud. It's this dude down here who's the number 3 pick from Alabama. This guy by the name of Will Anderson Jr., who's the best defensive end on Alabama for the past 3 years. He is, I don't know if quietly is the right word, but he has been like dominating the last couple of weeks.
Hold on, wait. While y'all rocking with us, thank you guys for chilling out with us again on another Monday Night Raw. I want y'all to notice that there's a human at the top that he is crushing. Not the quarterback who understands that this situation is bad. There's a man who he is obliterating right down there at the bottom. All you see is them little orange cleats right there. That's because Will Anderson destroyed him. And the quarterback is like, Lord, help me.
Look at this. It's right. Kapow! And then caused the fumble.
Quarterback, you can't be scared now.
Yes, you can. If you see this, I'm scared. He's 6'5", 270.
Slide.
You can't slide in the drop back. You can't slide in the drop back. You try to make the team, so you have to get hit. You not.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if y'all block for Tua like that, it's gonna be a short season.
That's not funny, but it is. It's gonna be a short season. Y'all better go get Trey Lance.
I do not.
Y'all better go get Trey Lance.
Still be playing football. And I'm gonna tell you, I definitely, coach. I'm not going out there if they doing that.
And we gotta play them. Ooh, he laid him out. He ran that running back completely.
He looked like
Will Anderson Jr. Will Anderson Jr.
I'm not new to this. I'm true to this.
He is going to be a scary player, and everybody's going to focus on Stroud. I think he'll probably have one of the better defensive rookie years.
Oh, and don't forget they still got Stingley and that other boy back there too. The Texans got a team, and I think they got a good coach in D'Amico Ryans. I hate that the people who own the Texans, but remember, do not forget, the Texans and the Chiefs went into overtime last year.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs won that in overtime, and they got Messi now. They got a coach.
So I haven't picked a sleeper team yet, but every time we go through these, I know I'm not picking Detroit, but every the teams that we go through is difficult.
No sleeper, but that's not a bad pick.
I like this, but everybody knows Dalvin Cook signed with the Jets. He now says that the NFL running backs have a group chat now to check on each other as they go to work and feel they're not getting what they're worth. He thinks Derrick Henry started the chat and estimates all running backs are in it. Unless y'all gonna stay with solidarity and not sign and decide that y'all not gonna do nothing as a group, y'all can have a whole chat room if you want to, but y'all gonna have to stick together in order to make a change.
Well, it's varying degrees of, well, I was gonna say it's varying degrees of money, but it ain't. $10 million is the cap. Bijan, number one, at $13 million. Excuse me. After that, everybody else gets paid equal to or less than.
Yeah, right.
So y'all
it's
gonna
crazy.
have to do something.
Because look, the Colts have now given Jonathan Taylor permission to seek a trade, and they have, which they didn't. And I'm gonna tell y'all why they didn't. If y'all know that the Colts have and Jonathan Taylor have been going at it for basically since last year. He got hurt. He's in a contract. He's going to be in a contract year if he's not signed. He doesn't want to play without an contract extension. So I think, first off, the Colts have already put out there that they are expecting a first-round pick or multiple young players and high-level picks. High-round picks means second, third, or fourth with players for Jonathan Taylor. I got a problem with that. Y'all want all that for a man y'all not willing to pay? Y'all out y'all mind. Drugs.
So, funny enough, how do you feel about Algier for Taylor?
Yeah. Ain't no thought. Yeah.
And I mean, it does send them a proven running back.
You giving them a first or second or third round pick? Well, first or second round pick? I'm assuming they only want first. They said first only. I'm not.
But Algier in the second, I would probably let that rock.
And pay Jonathan Taylor what? You still in the same? You have to pay him. He ain't playing unless he get paid. What you gonna pay him?
I'd pay him 15.
15?
I pay him 15.
You'd reset the running back market in order to just pay Bijan, who's going to have to reset the running back market again.
Yes, and because then I could put because Bijan's ability to flex allows me to do so many different things.
That's kind of scary.
I thought about this.
I thought about it too. As soon as they did this, I was like, "Dang, the Falcons got a little bit. They got a little bit that they can do now."
We can give you a guy who you could have, who's proven. You wouldn't have to pay him reset the market running back money, but you're getting a proven commodity, and we got a chance at Jonathan Taylor. And now we have the scariest backfield in who knows how long, with a team with an offensive line that will match you.
Yeah, it gets ugly if that happens. But I will say, I don't like the Colts. I don't like Jim Irsay. I don't like how the NFL is doing this. If y'all are not going to pay running backs, then there needs to be no rookie scale for running back contracts. You need to just eliminate the rookie scale and pay them what they're worth immediately. Versus, and if you're going to use them up in their first 5 years, you might as well pay them what they're worth in the first 5 years versus using them up and then not paying them. You got to eliminate the rookie scale for running backs if you're going to do that. Or you're going to get this over and over again.
Irsay is a clown, and I'm starting to believe that if you go over there and work for Irsay as a coach, you're an idiot. This is not like, I think he's about to like Jerry Jones himself out of coaches, where you just won't be able to get a legitimate coach. I'm not going over there and dealing with that. Not a chance.
I don't like him. As I told you, I don't like.
He blew their chance to win the AFC South single-handedly. He did that. He tanked their season last season and has tanked their season this season. If I'm Anthony Richardson, I'd be borderline ready to cuss him out. It's no way, bro.
I ain't no Anthony Richardson fan, but you're a black quarterback. You went to one of the worst situations, just because of him, just because of
it is the
Jim
worst
Irsay.
situation in the NFL right now. Jonathan Taylor is the best player on your team, and he does not want to be there anymore.
And you just named Anthony Richardson the starter amidst all of this.
Once again, my stomach hurt. Gardner Minshew. Uncle Rico, come on back, big dog. You got this. I want out.
It's been rumored that Stephon Diggs wants out of Buffalo by Stephen A. Smith. He says that he has sources in Buffalo that says Stephon Diggs wants out, and that he said that on First Take, and he said that the Jets are interested, or he wants to go to the Jets, or he's interested in going to the Jets because he wants to win.
And then Stephon Diggs said, "I am not trying to leave here. I want to retire a Buffalo Bill."
100% not true. I don't know who the source is, but I thought I nipped this in the bud already when he said this back at a press conference before. So he says he does not want to leave. He said, and then he released "Rocking with My Dogs, Bills Mafia" through and through. Now
he did. Now you're right.
This didn't come out of nowhere. Now it's not like normally where there's smoke, there's some type of fire. While the Washington football team just took the lead 29-28 over Baltimore to try to win the game with 9 seconds left. They treating this like a regular season game. But I will say you don't help yourself, Stephon, when you run out of the locker room after losing a game that you should have won. I think they lost to Cincinnati. And not talking to media, throwing a temper tantrum, and then not talking to media, not talking to your teammates, not telling anybody, and then coming back and saying I was emotional because we lost the game. Yeah, but when you do stuff like that, rumors come with that behavior.
That's the Cam Newton behavior. But as a wide receiver, is looked upon differently than a quarterback. That was always my thing with Cam is you can't do that because you're the quarterback. Receivers can do it, and they be like, okay, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, okay, he's a receiver. You know, receivers always get a rap for that in the first place. And you're right. He did kind of say that he wasn't coming back. They had all of that to start out training camp. But Stephen A. puts himself in a lot of these compromising situations by saying stuff like this. And every time he does that, especially now, it's the thing to do. I think I've seen Kevin Durant do it a bunch of times where he comes out and makes this bold statement, and then they be like, "No, where did you get this from?" A lot.
Yeah, I do. Now I do like athletes doing that. You're right. I do like athletes saying, "Nah, I don't know what you're talking about. That's a lie."
He lying. He lying.
But sometimes athletes lie too. NFC South. Real quick, NFC South. This is kind of what we've seen circulating about the NFC South. Some of the teams with questions that they need to be answered. Tampa Bay, Rondé Barber says, "Hey, what's up with their offensive line? They did just lose their guards. They have Tristan Wirfs still and Ryan Jensen, and they got Cody Mauch, who they drafted, and then they got Luke Geike at right tackle. That is something for them because they don't have a quarterback that works well under pressure, right?
But that's where like Jensen and Wirfs and Cody, they're supposed to handle that. That's why we got these guys.
Well, Jensen and Wirfs.
Now, Ryan Jensen is the man.
Yeah, them two. I'm talking about Geike. I don't know if he's viewed as a top tier.
Yeah, nah. The other two is the other two. Y'all got some figuring to do, but 3 of those are supposed to be me.
Now you get to the Saints. The Saints know that they can rush the quarterback, but they have to figure out a way to stop the run.
Funny story. Maybe Arthur Smith doubled down on the run because he knew something, because maybe their defensive line coach is now the defensive coordinator for
the Atlanta Falcons. And boy, we look good. And then, too fast. And then, of course, how will Bryce Young, you ain't got nothing on your team when they talk about the coaching staff. Bryce Young will benefit from the coaching staff in Carolina in a big way. Now, he does. That coaching staff ain't bad now. It
ain't no, hey.
Frank Wright as head coach. Josh McCown as QB coach. Thomas Brown as offensive coordinator, who was a running back and studied up under Bobo and all of them, who likes to throw the ball. Yep. Jim Caldwell, who is the architect of those Indianapolis Colts offenses. And then, of course,
is not bad.
Parks Frazier, who is an up-and-coming assistant and is the passing game coordinator, which is wild crazy that is now like an official position on coaching staffs. Like that is like
I've always liked that. I will consider myself an offensive guy, specifically a passing guy, and I think that the people who have the eye for the passing game sometimes are short-sighted when it comes to the running game.
Ravens lost in their streak,
and I feel like separating them two is not the worst thing in the world.
I agree. I was highlighting that they have a pass game coordinator, because before you would just hear run game coordinator. That would be it.
Yeah.
And now you have a pass, and you don't really hear run game coordinator. I mean, they don't want no running backs at this point. So, and then finally, the Falcons, they said there's going to be a complete overhaul on defense, and the Falcons could be really, really good at defense. I mean, we have an entire new defensive line. We have 2 new rush linebackers. We have a new safety, and then we added 3 corners. We basically brought back Grady Jarrett and what's his name? AJ. That was it.
Yeah, everybody else. Hey, we told you. That's the reason we put y'all on these 1-year deals. Either you get it how you live, or you get the hell on. And a lot of people got the hell on. And a lot of those people still looking for jobs.
Yeah, I don't understand the Rashaan Evans
thing. When you leave the Falcons, and I'm not against Rashaan Evans coming back. Like,
he must want too much money.
He was a good enough football player for us.
He led the team in tackles. He had like 100 and something tackles.
And that's 2 years just can't cover. Let the leading tackler go.
He can't cover. That's the issue. But the Falcons defense could be scary, man. It could be scary. We got to find a second corner because Okudah's hurt. But if he comes back and plays decently, it could be scary.
He's supposed to be ready to start the season.
They upgraded him fast. New medicine. Listen. All right. You see the hat? I'm trying my best not to get excited. But when this run by Bijan Robinson is your first carry and it's a juke that well between the tackles and you run for 13 yards on your first carry,
got him right out of there too.
That's tough.
That's it. We just need to see he can do it.
That's tough. And he played slot receiver. They had him and Algier on the field at the same time. Cordell Patterson, they're really not gonna play him in the preseason. But and that's probably the biggest question I had after Bijan. They had him listed at number 3, but he clearly after that first run, they was like, all right, just leave him out there. Just let him go. And Bijan is so fast that he makes Algier look really slow. And Algier's not that he's not slow. He's not a burner. He's more of a power back. But Bijan, that first run,
you don't want to put your hands on Algier though. He's gonna make you pay for it.
But this first run, Bijan saw the cutback lane and hit the hole so fast. Pause if necessary. You're talking about running the football, so I don't know how to not say that. But he hit the hole so fast, and then they didn't have Algier here, but Algier is kind of different, and it's scary.
First of all, you don't see Mac Hollins down there putting hands on people.
Mac Hollins is a beast. He body slammed somebody in the game.
Right there, look at 29. Help me. You know how bad it is. He got it, and Mac Hollins has his hands on the inside. Like that's how you supposed to.
You just yoked up at that point. That's when you just
like along
this.
for the ride. And you see his pass going as the quarterback. This is not what you're supposed to be doing right. But I'm gonna tell you, there should be 2 people who are smiling from ear to ear: Kyle Pitts and Drake London. Let me tell you, all of this is a bootleg play action.
Touchdown.
Every you're gonna bite on that one time, and it's gonna be Pitts and somebody that's gonna be all bad. Or Drake London streaking on that backside, and he gonna boot
Drake
around.
London, man, he made a lot of difficult catch. Him and Ritter have a really good rapport. I'm a little nervous about that with him and Kyle Pitts because he missed Kyle Pitts. He missed somebody wide open in the end zone. Why he missed Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan open. They were all open. He ran the ball. We kicked the field, and he threw an interception on the next play. I was like, can't have that.
Now Ritter, we don't need another Mariota, bro. We don't need that.
No, we don't. I do want to share some good news. I want to share some good news before we get out of here. It was reported, and I think it was some really bad reporting. At first, it was reported that Jimmy Graham was arrested after being publicly intoxicated. Was the original headline. It later came out that he was arrested for his own well-being because he was found wandering on the highway discombobulated, and they think it's because he was disoriented because he had a seizure. And after having a seizure, he came back to and he was disoriented. And I've seen people have seizures. So for him to even get back up and walk around is insane. So I'm just happy that Jimmy Graham is okay. And I'm happy that the true story came out, that it was a medical emergency and not what was initially reported. So shout out, thoughts and prayers to Jimmy Graham and his family.
Yeah, I mean,
he's also back at training camp.
So they say he was running down the street at the Saints Resort and being chased by security guards. Yeah, so
maybe it wasn't a seizure. Is that what you're saying?
I still think it was a medical precaution. Like from everything that I see, it doesn't look like, you know how you kind of report things and it sounds away, but then he ain't like this is a resort. Like he's just not out. Like
as you see the statement right here, it says the Saints, Jimmy Graham had a medical episode which resulted in him becoming disoriented. So the Saints stood up for him. They said, nah, it ain't what you think. So Like I say, we're just happy that he's okay. Thoughts and prayers.
And like he's not looking erratic. He's not looking crazy. You know how you see certain situations and you're like, bro, what's going on? It looks like. I mean, I just hope that he's all right. Number one, that's the shit that really matters more than anything. Get the help that you need. I'm glad that he's back in the NFL right now, so that hopefully, like, he can get the help and it not cost the arm and the leg, or really hopefully cost him anything. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he can get it taken care of.
Yep, I agree. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of episode 117 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition. Monday Night Raw. We appreciate y'all for tuning in with us. Norwood, if we didn't miss anything, take us out.
Definitely did not miss anything. Once again, quick reminder, no Saturday morning live. We don't think. No Monday night pod for sure. And thank you guys for rocking with us. We do look forward to seeing you guys soon and very soon again. Number one, more black baseball, more black beaches. Number two, more black cowboys and more cowgirls. Number three, the one that is by far the most important and nearest and dearest to our heart, the historically black college and university you went to, your cousin went to, your auntie went to, your uncle went to, that person you really cool with at church, send some money over there. The historically black college and university in your neighborhood, the one you go to for tailgating, homecoming, just to be around your people, send some money over there. Into the greatest learning institution in all the world, the Hampton University. We only asking for $18.68. Please send on behalf of the Splashcast. Please support HBCUs. What else you got for me, Reg, before we get out of here?
Nothing.
With that
Love
said,
y'all.
me and Reggie have survived two of the wildest weeks in recent date. We still here. We still fighting. Getting better than ever. We still raving for the Falcons. Y'all get prepared. And with that said,